we had we had just touched the surface of an equity research report in the last session, right? Yes or no? Hmm? You guys had gone through one of the equity research report in the last session, yes or no? We you guys did it, right? I showed you the one of the report.
Yes.
What about others, guys? Do you remember, or you just completely washed out of your memory?
I wasn't present in the last class.
Okay. What about others? No one was present other than Sakshi?
Remember the example that we did last week?
Do you remember?
Yes.
You guys gone through that report of Petronet LNG? Huh? What happened? Hello? Hello? All right, guys. So, okay, you guys don't want to talk. It's fine. Equity research. So yes, last time I had made you go through one of the equity research reports just to give you an idea that how detailed the research is done by analysts before writing a report. You need to really dig deep into the concept of research of any research of any new company or industry you are picking. So we need to go into detail of that, and then within, I said, like in the last session also, so it takes 1 to 3 months of time to really dig into that company and research and create a report like initiating coverage report, uh, the sample of which I had made you see in the last session for one company called Petronet LNG. So with that, we'll just go deep into equity research. So guys, equities business has generally three kind of segments. One is research, second is sales, and third one is trading. So research team generally what they do is uh, they find out the new stock investment ideas. They analyze the companies. They follow the companies regularly. In the research, there might be a category of industry experts also. So an industry expert, they would only look for companies belonging to a particular industry. So example, if you are an expert in IT, so then you will be asked as an IT expert, equity research analyst, you will be asked to follow all the companies belonging to IT domain. So you would be largely keeping a track of only IT oriented companies, not any other. So there are two kind of research analyst. One is a sector specific research analyst, which will only look for companies belonging to a particular sector or industry. And the other is sector agnostic research analyst. Sector agnostic research analysts are completely opposite. They do not have any research sector specific foundations or boundaries. They look after for opportunities irrespective of which sector the company belong to, right? So these are the two kind of research analyst categories you will find. That is sector specific research analyst and sector agnostic research analyst. Then there would be a team of sales in the business of equities. Basically, their role will be to maintain client relationship. They will bring more and more clients on roll. They will pass on the research research outcomes to the clients. So based on the research team's recommendation and write up, they will go and pitch the clients and ask to invest in a particular stock idea, or sector, or any investment opportunity. So that would be the role of sales team, to mobilize the funds from the share, from the investors, to bring new investors on roll, uh, and generate revenues, more and more revenues for the equities companies. And third category is trading. Basically, trading is basically the team which execute the orders. Ultimately, they execute the orders on behalf of the clients. So the clients would, based on sales recommendation, the clients will, for example, say, okay, buy 1,000 shares of Reliance in my account. So it is a trading team of the company, of the broker company, would ultimately be executing that trade. That means ultimately would be buying, putting buying orders in the client's account, and will charge brokerage for that basically. Right? So these are the three main or broad business segments in research, sorry, in equities. Right? But we would more align for, as a part of financial analyst, we would more be interested, guys, and we would be more be um, talking or discussing about the research domain, right? Because this is what our subject largely is. Any question, guys? Anyone so far? Equity research itself has three types now. So we are, as you would understand, now we are going more in research. In research, there are three broad types. One is buy side research, second is sell side research, and third is independent research. Anybody has any idea what is buy side research?
Company which is planning to buy the father companies, so we have a with the listing bank, so that we can able to provide the research report from the buy side.
Okay. How is that different from sell side?
The sell side will provide what are the opportunities that we have, and so buy side will tell them what are the opportunities that we have in buying these companies, and what is the futuristic plan. So these are the things that we plan from that. And sell side will project from there, and what they will project the companies. What is my company, and what we are right now, and what we are planning, and what is the reason for the investment. These are done in the sales side.
Anyone has any other view? Okay, not an issue.
Buy side would be,
Yeah.
it seems like, suppose there are two companies, A and B. A wants to sell its business and B wants to buy a business similar to what A's business. So B would hire a buy side research, buy side equity analyst, like that.
No.
So that.
So it is not like that, Sushant. Now let me explain what is the difference between buy side and sell side. So basically, guys, buy side team in equity research, specific in equity research, and we are not talking about here investment banking at all. Okay. Especially in case of equity research, buy side team is the team which focus on managing the client's money by themselves. So they basically, what they would do, they will take clients' money and then they will manage it by directly investing into the stocks or selling the stocks in client's portfolio. Sell side equity research analysts do not manage clients' money directly. They do research on the company and create report and sell those reports. So sell side doesn't mean selling companies or not, or selling stocks. No, it is selling the research reports. Buy side team will not sell any research reports or any research ideas. They will generate research ideas, and based on their own ideas, they will make action in clients' portfolio. They will directly be managing clients' money. Sell side research analysts will have clients, but will not have clients' money. Basically, clients' money will not be managed by sell side directly. Sell side analyst would only be doing research like buy side. Sell side research analyst will also do detailed research as a buy side analyst will do, but sell side research analyst would not have the liberty to invest directly clients' money, because clients' money is not there with them. They can only sell their ideas in the form of reports, right? Is it clear? So sell side means selling the reports. Buy side means buying or selling directly the stocks or clients' money, investing clients' money on behalf of client. That is why asset management companies comes under buy side, whereas brokerage companies comes under sell side, because those research analysts who are working with the brokers, they do research, they sell, they create a report, but they sell the report. And considering that report, client can give an order to buy a share or sell a share, basically, right? So that they earn brokerage out of it, right? So the discretion is with client in sell side, and in buy side, the discretion is with analyst. Analyst will take the money or pool the money from investors and invest on behalf of investors, making the decisions with respect to buying and selling the shares directly in the client's account. That's the difference between buy side and sell side. And the third category is independent research. Independent research can be, as the name suggests, it can be anyone. Aditya can be an independent research. Anand can be independent research. I already am an independent research to a certain extent. So independent research is a person who does research for independently and make decision. Uh, Sometimes they just been hired by companies to do research, only to do research, or hired by their clients to do research for that particular client. So they do independent. So they do paid research services. Basically, they are known in the market for their research capabilities, and particular hires from particular investors from time to time hire them only for doing research and sharing the research report only with that particular person. That is your client who has hired you. Do not share the report to all the clients of any brokerage company or something. Any confusion, guys? As an independent research analyst, anybody can become independent research analyst, right? Create a name so that you have followings, and then people will hire you to do research for on their behalf, basically. Anybody has any question on this?
No, Sumit, just one question. What does it take to become an independent research? I mean, it does obviously experience does matter, but for someone who just wants to start, is
So
that
first of all, you
necessary?
need to have a following of client. So you need a
Right.
relationship with clients, because independent, that means you do not have a brand like ICICI or HSBC or something like that, right? So you have to create your own brand so that people feel comfortable connecting with you, right, Sushant?
Mm-hmm.
And that can only happen when by doing so. There are multiple ways you can become independent research these days. Few people I have seen in last few years, they started creating videos on companies based on their research, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then suddenly they started having more and more subscribers on YouTube and all, and then few of those subscribers became
The
paid,
clients.
paid clients to them, that give us the ideas individually to do this research for my own, right? And I will pay you that much. Another way I have seen, so for example, Mr. Vivek, Dr. Vivek, something is there, right? I shared many a time his writings with you guys, right? कुछ नाम उनका भूल रहा है, डॉक्टर विवेक बत्रा और समथिंग. Vijay Malik, Dr. Vijay Malik, right? So how he has got this is, he does extensive research, but he doesn't create video. He creates
Mm-hmm.
the writings, right? And he writes large articles on various ways to analyze companies, and he's done various analysis of the companies. He shares those analysis to general public. You and everybody can read it, right? And these are very large. If just see how large it is. I'm just going down. The analysis is not getting over. Down. He'll pick. He'll do a very detailed analysis, picking last 10 years of financial statements, and will analyze them, and will share the analysis with general public like you and me. So if you like his way of analyzing things, so you can hire him, or you can pay him as an individual to take or to generate ideas. So that's why
Right.
he
Sumit,
he share all these articles for free, but there is some premium version. So to take premium, you have to take a subscription. So that is another way you can do it. Yeah.
uh, 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 considering this particular batch, since I don't think any one of us comes from a research analyst,
Mm.
research analyst background. So So somebody who wants to start, because was that we have a different background than getting the best. I mean, the easiest way out is that आप किसी company को join कर लें जो, but वो ऐसे लेंगे नहीं. So what do you suggest?
So it depends on how passionate you are about this, right? So you can create this work, right, and start sharing it with the people, right? And if they like your work, then they can hire you. Now, two things can be there. One, they hire you full time, or two, they give you an internship opportunities, right? So you can take internship opportunities and work for them 6 months. If they like your work, they give you full-time job opportunity, right? The chances of having an internship, getting an internship opportunity is high as compared to getting a full-time job. You have to wait for that, basically. You have to keep creating good work. I kept on creating good work, Sushant. Like this batch, even I didn't come from any research background. I was into sales, core sales, and then I kept on creating such reports of this research and privately kept on sharing with the uh, with the uh, with the people of influence on LinkedIn. Okay, and after waiting for 5 years or 4 years, I finally have got this January. I finally got a job with the company, with which I'm working right now, Access Securities, where my role is purely to do research and buy-side research.
Right.
So it's a journey which requires you to be patient. So during that time, I didn't go. It wasn't like that. I was sitting idle at home and only creating report. I was working full time and creating report and studying and teaching. Right. And on the top of it, I was managing my portfolio. And on the top of it, I have my wife since 2018. 2017, I got married 2017 June, right? I have mother, I have father, right? So I do spend time with them also, right? So you have to how you have to do is you have to first become passionate. Second is you have to consistently follow up with people on LinkedIn. Third, you have to regularly study and create. And for doing all this, you should not give excuse to yourself or to your loved ones that because right now I don't want to go into equity research. I am focusing on making these reports. I will not work. That's not how it should happen. Okay? So either you do it when you are in the so I know someone who has already reached to a pinnacle in this, and he's junior to me, 2 years junior to me. But since my college days, he was already an investor, and he used to research, deep research during my college BCom. I did BBA, but he was doing BCom from the same college, and he was known for his research capabilities then. I got clarity when I was 28-year-old that I want to go into research. 27-year-old precisely. He got clarity when he was 12 years old, 13 years old, that he wants to go into equity research. So that's why you need to understand when you get clarity in your life, you need to, that's not the only thing, but yes, then the journey becomes, if you get clarity much earlier, then your journey becomes smooth, right? Smooth in the sense that because when you're a fresher, you would be looked down as a fresher, right? And you would not worry getting a internship at the age of 21. You would be happily doing internship. Now at the age of 28, 29, if you're asked to do internship, it pinches you, right?
Right.
But then the journey becomes even more difficult. That I in my previous, while I was in previous job, previous job, yeah, I worked for 6 months for free with a private equity analyst. I used to work 2 hours a day. I'm talking about 2019, 2020. Yeah, I got the LinkedIn connection. I got it through him. I connected with him. I said I want to learn. He said, "You give me 2 hours." And I was blessed to have him, that he opened up his analysis styles to me. I learned it.
That's what somebody who's interested and passionate about this. That's what that one particular person who really who tries to invest into you.
So basically, Sushant, I'm giving you the most practical answer because I understand. You said like this batch, right? So like this batch is not some youngsters batch of with an average age of 21, right? So I can't tell them, boss, nahi, ab try karo, ho jayega. आपको बहुत मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी तो ही होगा, नहीं तो नहीं होगा.
Right.
But you're trying to carve out a different career with the baggage of earlier 7, 6 years, 5 years, respective years of experience,
Mhm.
which largely drives your resume, right?
जी.
So when whosoever is going to see your resume, Imaticus, this course is going to be just 3 months, but your whatever experience you have in the last 5 years, 6 years, 2 years, 3 years would be very large as compared to 3 months or 6 months course, right?
Right. Right.
So that is why you have to put extra efforts, connect with more and more people. That's how things
Sumit,
happen. Yeah.
Sumit, if you don't mind, could you please share if you have done work on this, like if you have written any research reports?
I
Yeah,
can't
that
share,
would
but I
be
can show you on this screen. I have written many. So this is my new lab in the sense I used to write in my old laptop, which was Sony Vaio in 2018-19. But here in this laptop also, there would be a couple of reports saved. I'll show one to you. For example, this CDSL, I write a extensive report. This is a report. Is it visible?
Yeah.
So
Sumit, there's a NSM certification as NSM.
that all is okay. That time pass.
Okay, I mean, just to get an insight how a report is written or anything, does it really help or
I
it's
don't
just
think I have not done it. I don't think it helps.
okay, okay,
But if you just want to listen, yes, then I can say yes. Everything, anything, and everything which is there, it
no,
helps.
but
Right?
जो आपने कहा कि to find somebody who shows interest कि okay, it's okay if you know you can spare
But
some
that
few
NISM
like
certificate is not going to impress anyone. It is just time pass work. Okay. See,
right, right, right.
I don't want to speak about it. You should understand that I should not. Don't ask me that again when which things I don't want to speak, because then it becomes controversial, right? There's a
Right,
very
right.
big
That's
institution,
okay.
right? So if I'm avoiding
That's
something,
okay.
you should
That's
stop
okay.
asking about that. ठीक है, वो भूल जाओ.
Okay.
What I can tell you is this, that for connecting people, you don't need to have this. This is what you need to have. So this is the report I have written. For example, he asked me, have you written any report? So this is the report I shared with my current CIO, company CIO, which made him consider me for this role. Though I never made any, I didn't have any investment experience of public money, in the sense any client's money. I have investment experience of my own money, but never with my clients. Right? Still, I got this job because this is the report, Anand. Right? This is a report. I can't share it with you honestly, but yes, I can show it to you that this is my work. Right? My and my friends work together. In fact, there is a friend of mine who we work together for a personal portfolio. So we thought, why not put it down into analysis form? ठीक है, ये है मॉडल भी बना रखा है उस पे, इसमें मिलेगा आपको. ये मॉडल है, डिटेल एनालिसिस कर रखी है.
Okay.
Yeah. So DCF valuation, revenue analysis, other analysis, operating analysis, not operating analysis.
Okay, so it's more of कि कुछ कंटेंट होना चाहिए सामने वाले को दिखाने के लिए, so that
सामने वाले को दिखाने के लिए नहीं होना चाहिए, आपको खुद को उसको करने में मजा आना चाहिए.
हाँ मतलब
Because
obviously कुछ
you have to put your soul into it. So you ask anything and everything, I can explain. ये 7 page की report है, but I can explain it for 3 hours. ये मैंने भले यहाँ पर एक पैराग्राफ लिखा है, लेकिन इस पैराग्राफ को लिखने के लिए मैंने शायद 3 रातें निकाली हो. सिर्फ एक पैराग्राफ लिखने के लिए, उसको रिसर्च करके कुछ पॉइंट्स ड्रॉ डाउन करने के लिए, ताकि मैं कुछ इम्पैक्टफुल लिख पाऊँ. राइट? तो ऐसे बहुत सारी कंपनीज का लिख लेता है. ये अपोलो में भी आपको मिलेगा, फिर आपका क्रेडिट एक्सेस ग्रामीण में भी आपको कुछ मेरा ये डॉक्यूमेंट है. ये देखो, ये डॉक्यूमेंट अपने बना रखे हैं मैंने नोट्स. फिर स्नोमैन लॉजिस्टिक पे शायद मैंने बनाया तो था, ये डॉक्यूमेंट है. वैसे है 6 कंपनीज, बट अराउंड आई वुड हैव मेड इट फॉर 18 to 20 कंपनीज. ये मैंने लैपटॉप 2020 में लिया था, आई गेस 19 एंड में लिया था, तो उसके बाद से इतने में किया है. नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड, आई एम डूइंग ऑल दिस अनंत विद अ फुल टाइम जॉब एंड सैटरडे संडे full time teaching, right? सो उसके बाद में वाइफ भी है, तो थोड़ा मेरे को इतना ही टाइम मिलता है। बट यस,
course,
जो
of
टाइम
course.
मिलता है उसको यूज करते
That's appreciable.
हैं। हाँ, दैट इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट, राइट? So the journey is not going to be smooth, honestly, but it is not impossible. You have a live example in the form of Sumit Rathi. Okay, you can check out my profile on LinkedIn. I never have ever held a equity research job in my life before this job. Yeah. So there was no chance that I could have got a full-time job in equity research and portfolio management. ये पर्सनली आपको अपनी स्टोरी बोलनी पड़ती है, ऐसे नहीं होता है। क्रिएट सी, इससे पहले आई वाज इनटू प्राइवेट इक्विटी, रिसर्च एनालिस्ट, ये सीनियर एनालिस्ट, वैल्यूएशन एनालिस्ट, रिसर्च। So I was doing private equity research and valuation, no money management. Okay. First time I have got a portfolio strategist that is purely public listed companies, because you can understand Axis Securities only invest into public listed companies, right? So I was into sales. Wealth management advisor is a sales role, and in Axis Bank also I was into sales for almost 3 years. I was into sales. Then I was into private equity research and valuation, which was more of a desktop role. Honestly, just have to keep on doing valuation of more and more companies coming to your desktop. Right? And this I was doing for US, rather having not visited US ever. So, but I was keenly looking for this role. For last 5-7 years. But then I couldn't sit alone at home, just looking for and thinking, when will I get that job? When will I get that job? That's not good, right? The current CIO of my company who recruited me, with whom I have been following up on LinkedIn since 2017 से पहले, आप देखेंगे इनको मैंने फर्स्ट मैसेज कौन सी ईयर में भेजा था, बताओ? See that
17.
I've been following him since 2017. Finally, I got his notice in September 2021. In October 2021, he connected and offered me this job. It took me 4 years to convince. And do you think I would have been connected with only one CIO? I can't be that lucky na कि नहीं यही CIO मेरी help करेगा.
No. So did you used to do आप उन्हें individually privately used to share your research reports, or how did you do it?
उनके साथ रिसर्च रिपोर्ट एक ही बार शेयर करी मैंने, वो उन्होंने मंगाई थी मुझसे 2021 में.
Right.
But I used to regularly message him and ask for one. See, that journey has also evolved. If I show you the messages, they have also evolved. क्योंकि किसी से पूछ के नहीं किया, अपने अपने हिसाब से किया, right? So it takes time. जब मेरे मैसेज देखोगे तो messages has also evolved. पहले I used to tell them directly कि बॉस मैंने ये किया है, CFA कर रहा हूँ मैं, CFA लेवल 3 कैंडिडेट हूँ और 2.5 इयर्स का सेल्स एक्सपीरियंस है, राइट? मतलब ये सब एक्सपीरियंस है. अभी कोई भी ये पढ़ेगा ना तो वो आपको रिप्लाई नहीं करेगा. जस्ट रीड दिस लाइन, क्या लिखा हुआ है?
Having 2.5 years of experience into. Right.
It is impossible for someone to, in 2.5 years, to do 3 different jobs. That is why I was never used to get, most of the time I never used to get any reply. क्योंकि ये झूठ था. क्या था ये? झूठ था.
झूठ?
और नहीं तो क्या? See, I was into sales job for the first 2.5 years of my role. I was into banking sales. Hello.
Right.
तो ये झूठ नहीं है, but half truth है. Otherwise, it is impossible for anyone to do it. कि 3 अलग-अलग रोल में 2.5 साल में करूं as a fresher. It is impossible. तो कभी पॉजिटिव रेस्पॉन्स आता था, कभी नहीं आता था, ये सब ठीक है, चलता था. अभी उसके बाद में आई स्टार्टेड टेलिंग, ये 2000 कब भेजा मैंने, ये 2020 में भेजा, 3 साल बाद में. अभी जो आप मैसेज पढ़ोगे तो यहाँ पर सच बोला है कि बॉस, मैंने एक्सिस बैंक और आईसीआईसीआई बैंक में क्या काम किया है,
रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर.
क्योंकि सेल्स का जॉब है, सबको पता है.
राइट.
फिर वो अलग अलग से निकले की जरूरत नहीं कि मैं सेल्स में था. रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर इज ऑल अबाउट सेल्स, राइट. I clearly wrote कि after that I realized कि भाई मेरे को एनालिसिस ओरिएंटेड में रोल में जाना है, इसलिए मैंने सीएफए किया. फिर सब कुछ इसके बाद में सब कुछ सच है. 2020 से I started speaking truth. जी, मैं आपके साथ डिसऑनेस्ट नहीं रहूंगा कि नहीं बॉस, आई एम आल्सो वीक, राइट. एवरीबॉडी इज वीक. आई आल्सो नीडेड अ जॉब. 2016 के बाद मैंने जॉब कब करी बताओ? अगस्त 2016 के बाद तुरंत जॉब कब मिली मुझे? Which year?
18.
So for 1.5 years I was not working. I got married in between. 2017 July I got married also. Had no job, right? So I was desperate. Left, right, इधर उधर सबको मैसेज भेज रहा हूँ कि मैं ये करता था. But I was desperate plus I was rigid for not to go into sales. ये था कि मेरे को सेल्स में नहीं जाना. Having worked 2.5 years into sales, I don't want to go sales. तो कुछ लोग मुझे recommend करते थे कि why are you showing this as your sales experience? If you will show this as your sales experience, everyone will give you call only for sales only. And that used to happen with me. तो मैंने बोला कि कैसे फिर इसको, how do I show it to? बोला कि why not you show this experience as a, because you worked over here into credit sales, show it as a credit analysis profile. And here you were selling wealth products, so show it as an investment advisory profile. ठीक है. But still that didn't give me any result, because I realized after doing it for 6 months, I realized people at high job, high roles or high responsibilities or senior roles basically are not fool. They have gone through this entire journey to reach over there, right? They have seen the same challenges which we are facing or I was facing at my nascent stage. I realized that. So I listened to my heart. I said, boss, enough taking advice from others. Let's be honest to people. मैं बता रहा हूँ बॉस, ये मैसेज मैंने भेजा, इससे पहले मैंने 3 साल पहले भी मैसेज भेजा था ना, कोई रिप्लाई नहीं था. रिप्लाई था, थैंक यू, आई विल लुक फॉरवर्ड टू इट, ऐसे बस ये सब चल रहा था. सीवी भेज दो, अपना रेज्यूमे. दिस इज बिकॉज द पर्सन इज गुड, राइट. भेज दो, बट कुछ कभी कुछ आता नहीं था. ये मैंने भेजा. मैं क्विकली नीचे लेके जाऊंगा. इसके नीचे मेरे को उनका नंबर मिल गया. अभी मैं नीचे नहीं लेके जा सकता बिकॉज उनका नंबर सबको पब्लिकली दिख जाएगा, राइट, विच इज नॉट राइट थिंग टू डू, राइट. ये जैसे मैंने मैसेज भेजा, आई गॉट हिज नंबर. So that is the power of truth. The message, ultimate message is that. So yeah, so you have to tell them truth. I am stuck over here. I don't want to do this, and I'm ready to start. So whatever my package was there in here, after 1.5 years of break, when I joined this company, I got recruited at 1/3 after a 67% pay cut. How much? That is, I got recruited at 1/3 of the package. It is 67% of the pay cut. I had to start this job. Why? Because I was adamant that I will not go back to sales. If I would have got ready to go for sales, then obviously I would have got a package which is whatever I was earning is here plus some 20-30% increment, which is industry standard, right? So that is where again your passion sometimes gets tested. Are you really passionate? Then only you can take this decision. Honestly, I'm telling you, it was one of the toughest decision of my life I took. Right? Otherwise, we wouldn't have met, obviously. Because I wouldn't have been here. You would have been here, but some other trainer would have been there, right? I would have been selling goods, selling services, financial products or something like that. And would be, I would have curbing my what do I say, cursing my luck, right? I realized very early, boss. God help those. I didn't realize very early, but at time I realized that God help those well themselves. So boss, अपन को मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी. Then only God will help. There's no point cursing. So yeah, this is that journey. Any follow-up question, or should we go ahead?
Yeah, please. Yeah, we should. I think we should go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so independent research is there, right? Now, generally the type of investors, or basically the client you would serve in equity research, would be of two types. One is institutional clients and second is retail clients. We know what is institutions, right? Cash corporates, insurance companies, mutual funds, hedge funds, pension funds. And retails are like individuals like you and me, or HNI clients can also be there. HNI would also come in, but they are different category. If we see from narrow perspective, then it comes under retail, but no, there are three categories from that perspective: retail, institutional, and HNIs. So these are the various players, sell-side players, retail, and there are certain KPOs also which provide equity research services to institutions and retail clients based out of some other country. Right? So that is what KPO is all about, right? They outsource their research services to Indians. So we joining these KPOs, eClerks, Copalamba, eValueServe, my previous company. So they also provide equity research, right? So you can perform equity research services for some US-based clients. So this is the role of a general equity research analyst, guys. I would like you to read it for a second. That what are the various things which an equity research analyst is expected to do to perform his role. Yes. Have you read this, Sean? Have you read this? Have you read this? Yeah.
I'm sorry, Sumit. I'm really sorry. I got busy with my daughter.
Oh, okay.
Very sorry.
So basically, the kind of role which research analyst requires to do, guys, if you've read it, you have realized day-to-day role requires you to speak to the management of the companies. You first needs to understand that your role would require you to generate new investment ideas. And because we're talking about equity research, which largely deals with the public equities, right? Public domain. So you would have to generate research ideas as investment ideas based on public market listed companies, right? And that would require you to research many companies. That would require you to speak to the management and the customers and the suppliers of the companies. Yeah, as I talked, your research can be sell-side research or it can be a buy-side research. If it is a sell-side research, then you would require to connect with your clients and give your and share your ideas with them by selling your report. If you are a buy-side research analyst, then obviously you will not be selling your reports. In fact, many of the times they do not create. For example, I am into buy-side and largely do not create any report. There's no need to create any report. At max, you can create one email or one-pager document that why what is the investment rationale, as simple as that, right? So because buy side research analyst is more of discussion with the internal teams and deciding on investing in any stocks, and clients money is already there with them, right? So that's all. Yeah. And you are expected to understand if you are a research analyst who follows a particular industry, then you are expected to understand that industry much better than an average individual, right? You should be basically, because you are claiming yourself to be an sector specific industry analyst, then you need to be an industry expert. And as an expert, basically what is required is the most about that industry, and and much more than what an average individual knows about that industry. And you require to write commentaries and your opinions and all to your clients, right? And generally, as a research analyst, you would not be tracking 100 companies or 500 companies at a time. You largely would be tracking 7 to 12 companies uh, with or within or without within the industry. Or if you are industry agnostic research analyst, then you would be looking for 7 to 10 to 12 companies belonging to various industries. So to understand the business and to analyze the businesses, what are the various sources? That generally comes to everyone's mind, right? That we all talk about reading, or researching. But what are the various sources of information which can be leveraged to research or to read? So these are the various sources, guys. One is meeting with the company management, right? Obviously, that can be kind of a first-hand information you can get if you have a relation with the management, or if you can get a meeting with the management, you can get first-hand information, right? It would be more like an interview, right, where you would be asking questions to the management. So if ever you get a chance like this in the role of equity research, obviously you should prepare well, right? Because it's a great opportunity that you get a chance to interact with management. But if you are not ready with the questions, right, or if management thinks that he doesn't know anything about the company, he's just asking some random questions here and there, then management would not feel talking to you much. They would rather like to spend that money, that time doing something more important than interacting with you. That is why it's important that that is why it is important that you prepare well before going to that meeting. Next is management calls, earnings call. Basically, I might have touched upon this earnings call already, right? These earning calls earlier used to be written in a transcript form, and that transcript used to be um, publicly reported, right? Publicly should be made publicly available by the company. as an analyst, you can also join the call and ask questions, right? So nowadays, these recorded transcript calls are available on YouTube in audio format also. So you can become a part of that call if you regularly follow the updates from the company, because whenever they held this call for the analyst, they make it public that on so and so date, from this time to this time, we will have analyst call, and if you want to join, this is the link. They make this announcement. You need to follow that company and their announcement, so that you can get the prior knowledge of when the call is to be happen, and you can connect on the link and join the call and ask questions to the manager, right? So those transcripts are and the transcripts of historical calls, and generally all these calls happen every quarter, because companies in India generally publish quarterly results. So with this quarterly result publication, a lot of companies also do call with analysts. So that's why this call transcripts, quarterly call transcripts, would generally be made available. That is a very good source of information on regular updates and uh, for the company, their plans, short-term goals, long-term goals, and all. And if there is any problem which management is facing, they can discuss about that problem in the call. So before investing, you can also get to know that these are the near-term problems which can impact the price of the stocks. But if you are really impressed with the long-term uh, guidance of the company, then you can still remain invested even the stock market prices are falling, right? So for example, in one of my investment I did, uh, I already knew that for the next 3 quarters the results will not be good. Why I did knew? Because two quarters back, the management themselves said that for the coming 3 to 4 quarters our performance would be very poor, uh, and this and that. But I'm very impressed by the management. Honestly, I talked about this company, right? Stride Pharma last time. So it was already known that the performance will be poor, because 2 to 3 quarters before itself, the promoter of the company has made it an announcement in the conference call that the next 2 quarters will not do well, and so the result was poor, and the stock market prices are falling like anything. But most of the people who do not have the habit of reading, they don't know that this is short term, and that's why those who have the habit of reading and researching, for them it becomes an opportunity, right? So that's why I invested into the stock, even the stock market prices was falling, right? So now still I believe that long term of the company is good, but still, that is my personal opinion, right? Based on my study of the company. But honestly, it might turn out that in the long term, the company is fraud. So whatever I invested, even that can become zero. So obviously, it's not an investment advice, right? I'm just trying to make a point that even if there are short-term poor performance or the chances of that, that you will find management talking about all of those and any other challenges or any other good things which companies forecasting. You will find them talking about during this interactive session between analyst and management. Okay. And third is analyst meet. As the name suggests, you analyst meets are conducted between the analysts, right? A particular analyst group covering particular industry, they can meet time to time and share the ideas among themselves, share the learnings of that industry. For example, if you are an analyst who is following IT industry, so you can be called by all other analysts who are following IT industry, and you guys can meet and can discuss among yourself that what are the new opportunities are coming up in IT, and what are the new trends which each one of them observing. So industry level discussion can happen. You can have company level discussion also, depends on how comfortable you are sharing your research findings with others. Business interviews are generally with so one is management interview, which you have to do with management, and business interviews is the interviews which you generally do with the partners, stakeholders of the companies, like vendors, customers, partners, right? So employees. So if you can get some meeting. For example, when I invested into APL Apollo, I got I did a physical meeting with in 2019. I'm talking about with one of the distributors of APL Apollo, and with another one I did a call. So there are two total interviews I took. One I made on a call because the distributor was based out of Ghaziabad, and I was in Ahmedabad. And second I did was in Ahmedabad. I went to couple of APL Apollo stores, and one of the distributors got ready to give some answers to some of my questions. Right. So yes, this is a lot of networking is required. Sometimes you have to go door to door for these kind of things to get some contact. Sometimes you can connect with people on LinkedIn and get in touch with them and understand things like this. So it's like similarly in Stride Pharma also, I got connected with one of the employees through LinkedIn, and I'm connected. So this is how it happens, right? So it is a lot of throwing the darts in the darkness. You don't know which will get hit, and if even something gets hit, you may get a lot of understanding of the business, right? And the last and the least, but known to everyone, right? Annual report. Annual report is always, you all know, right, that on annual report there are many informations about the company which is publicly made available by the company itself, right? So, any question, guys, on this?
Sumit, research report में the area wherein you give your inputs, considering based out of your interaction with suppliers or employees, and obviously वो अपना नाम बताना नहीं चाहेंगे. So how do you prove that credibility? I mean, उसको report में हम कैसे incorporate करते हैं? Because why would anybody believe कि you really met a supplier, और जो supplier
Yeah.
ने आपको बोला वो सस्ता, या employee ने जो बोला वो सस्ता?
Correct. So largely, if it is a publicly known information which they have given, so then you can always say that I confirm the same thing. So, for example, there is a public information or going on that the company management said that we are expecting the demand to rise, for example, okay? And for which, so for example, the inventory level for any particular company is very. I give a very practical example, ठीक है? आपने देखा कि कंपनी की बैलेंस शीट में the inventory level is very high, ठीक है? As compared to historical levels of inventory. So people will ask the same questions in the call, management call or call, right? Earnings call. Why the inventory level is unusually high? Management is saying that we are anticipating a huge demand because of maybe right now coronavirus related thing. That since last 2 years people have not spent money on this product, suddenly there will be pent up demand, right? So they're expecting pent up demand. Now, what you do is you go and triangulate the fact. Triangulate means you verify the same fact from something connected to business, but not directly from business. That is, you go to vendors, dealers, or distributors and check the same thing, that we got to know that this product is demand is going to be very high. That is what people companies are anticipating. Do you feel the same? So dealer distributor is saying, yes, we are seeing a lot of inquiries coming for this product. There is a huge increase in the inquiries, and that is why we are planning to put large orders to the company. So now what happens in this? You got verification or not? Tell me. Whatever management is speaking, you got it verified by third party, yes or no?
Yes.
Doesn't matter who is that third party. You can simply write with our distributor network, we got to know that whatever management is saying is reasonable.
Okay. Okay. So
right?
we just have to
You do
state.
not have to give the name of the dealer that I talked to
Right,
X and Y pharma company or ABC HUL distributor. No, no, no. You don't have to divulge the info. That is your network. Why would you share it with anyone?
Right. And
हाँ.
इस चीज को the person who's reading the report, he sufficiently believes कि it's all
हाँ,
okay,
वो
it's all
बिलीव
true.
कितना करता है नहीं करता है वो डिपेंड
right.
करता है आपके हिस्टोरिकल परफॉर्मेंस पे.
Right, right, right. How much वो मेरी रिसर्च पे कितना रिलाई करता है, अगर देखा जाए
वो
तो, यही
आपके हिस्टोरिकल परफॉर्मेंस पे डिपेंड करता है कि आपने पहले, क्योंकि आपने आज तो पहली बार रिपोर्ट निकाली है, फिर तो वो 10% बिलीव करेगा आपकी रिपोर्ट. बट ये मान लीजिए आपकी 100th रिपोर्ट है, 120th रिपोर्ट है,
जी,
इसका मतलब आपने पहले भी इस तरह के जब भी एनालिसिस करके दिया है तो उसका रिजल्ट उसने शेयर मार्केट प्राइस पे, शेयर्स के प्राइस पे देखा है,
जी, जी.
है ना? तो
Right,
उस
right.
पे डिपेंड करता है कि वो आपको बिलीव कितना करेगा कितना नहीं करेगा. आपके पास परफॉर्मेंस पे पूरा ये डिपेंड करता है.
जी.
बिकॉज अदरवाइज स्टॉक मार्केट जो है वो इट डजंट रिक्वायर यू टू वेयर कि भाई नहीं आपको टाई और कोट पहना हुआ है तो आपको ज्यादा पता चल रहा है, मैंने साड़ी पहन रखी है तो मुझे कम पता चल रहा है, या फिर आपके ब्लैक हेयर्स है तो आपको ज्यादा पता चल रहा है, मेरे ग्रे हेयर्स है तो मेरे को कम. एनीबडी एंड एवरीबडी कैन पार्टिसिपेट इन स्टॉक मार्केट. आप 10 साल के इसलिए आपको कम पता चल रहा है, मैं 50 साल का तो मुझे ज्यादा पता, ऐसा कुछ है नहीं ना. एडवर्टाइजमेंट भी आता है, इफ यू वॉच grow का एक ad आता है, grow का ही आता है. Anybody can be a part in the stock market, right? So anybody can has its own opinion. So it all depends on your historical performance.
Right.
And that is why I said that I realized that honesty is the best policy in this. Though honesty is best policy in every scenario, but especially in this case, because that is only going to differentiate you from any other person who is claiming for the performance of any stock or any opportunity. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Unlike a normal banking business, a financial business which is very layered. You start as an assistant manager, maybe, and then associate manager, then deputy manager, then manager, then senior manager, then chief manager, then assistant vice president, then deputy vice president, then vice president, then senior vice president, then director, then senior director. And by the time your turns come for becoming CEO, it seems you're already 65. So you need to exit the company, right? So unlike this hierarchical oriented businesses in financial services, you will find that equity research company would be very flat. There would be largely 2 or 3 layers, especially in the buy side firms. We find there are only largely 2 or 3 layers: associate, analyst, and senior analyst, or managing director. The senior analyst itself is a managing director. So I'll show you one team of one of such companies to give you a practical perspective. So basically, you cannot expect a promotion every year in this kind of work. Like, in fact, I know most of the people that are working as an analyst since last 20 years, 25 years, 10 years, 15 years, 12 years, because there are only 2 level, only 3 level. So if you look at this company, Abacus is an Indian-based portfolio management services company, basically buy-side firm who manages or invests on people's money. So if you look at their team, there are 4 parts, 5 parts: fund manager and investment team. Forget about the sales and the compliance team, guys. That is not required. Their hierarchy is also very limited, by the way. But we're talking about investment team, right? So there are only 2 parts: fund manager, investment. So this is the founder. Is the founder, Sunil Singhania, is a personality in himself. And under him is one director, one fund manager. Then see Nirav Savai. Can you see and see his photo? He must be what? How old he must be? What do you think?
Somewhere in 60s.
Huh? Yeah, 60s में तो नहीं होगा, मतलब ठीक है, got little bald, that is fine. But yeah, 35 to 40 or approximate 40, right? And he's also still a research analyst, right? So there's just 3 designation if you look at it: research analyst, fund manager, and director. So there are 2 fund managers. One is Aman Chavan, must be also in 50s, and Rahul Veera, again someone 45 plus, right? Fund manager. Then all are research analysts. This guy is what? Research analyst Nirav Savai. If you look at his profile, he has 10 years plus experience in equity market, and he has been an analyst in all these companies, right? ICICI Securities and all. So he's here also is only analyst, right? Similarly, Chetan Vora, again, must be somewhere around 35, right? Is still an analyst, right? So that's what, it doesn't matter. So inka kitna, you can see. Chetan Vora has 10 years of experience in Indian equity research and a total of 15 years of professional experience, right? So 15 years experience, obviously, if you start at the age of 23 also, you got lucky, You got clear. He started accountant, so yes, you got lucky and you got clear everything in one go. You become a chartered accountant by the age of 21, 22. So even he started his career at 22, 15 years of experience makes him 37, right? So it's just an analyst, right? So that's one. And under him, under research analyst, there is research associate. Three research associate, 1, 2, 3. So 3 research associate, 3 research analyst, and 2 fund managers. That's all the hierarchy is all about. As I said, forget about the products and the operations because there also he's head products, but that's all. In product, there is only one guy, he himself, right? These are sales team, only 3 people in sales team. So not very hierarchy oriented organization, as you can notice. Even research associate themselves would be. So if analyst is a 10 year, 15 years experience holder, you can understand research associate themselves would be experience holder, right? 3 years, 2 years, 1 year. So this lady has been a CA, CS, and also doing CFA. She's a CFA level 2 candidate. She has completed Article 6 with Grant Thornton and post qualification has worked with Tata Capital as an internal auditor. Her last stint was with RBL Bank as an operation risk manager. Now you can understand. 2 companies he has worked full time. One is Tata Capital and second is RBL Bank. And before that, articleship is fine, which any CAS. So she must be having. If you look at for her in LinkedIn, I'm sure she must not be having less than 3 years experience. She will be having more than 3 years experience. We can check. Mudita Nahar. So 2016 passed out, right? Which current 2022 years, 6 years of experience she already holds. So see, 1.5 year for Tata Capital and 2 years. So total before joining as a research associate itself, she has had an experience of what? 3 years plus, right? 4 years, around 4 years. That's what I'm trying to say, right? And this is Chetan Vora, right? If you look at Chetan Vora's profile, he's the analyst over there, investment analyst, right? So he's been analyst since so many years. You look at it. In 2007 also he was an analyst. 2010 also he's an analyst. 2012 also he's an analyst. 2013 also he's an analyst. And 2018 also he's an analyst. So yeah, there is no much hierarchy, guys. That doesn't mean your salary doesn't go up, by the way, guys. Your salary would go up every year, right? There's no doubt in that. But yeah, profile hierarchy wise, there are only a couple of hierarchies as you could notice over here, right? Now, as I was telling to a few minutes back, Sushant also, that one way you can get into is you can get into this role. One way is look for summer internship. You know, internship in equity research. Obviously, then you will say, no, I'm so much experienced, I can't go for internship. But I showed you, even 12 years of experience, people are also working as an analyst. So there's no harm in going as internship to start with, but that's the person's choice, right? But that gives a good start, by the way, because equity research analysts, equity research companies do not like to hire again and again. They do not like attrition. They want to hire someone who can stay with them for long term, and that is why they're not comfortable hiring full-time people as it is. So therefore, that's why they like to give an internship opportunity. When you join as internship and they check your profile, they check your performance, they keep a track of your performance and your motivation and everything. If it fits to their requirement, then they give you full-time job opportunity. So that's why you have to start from small in this. But as I said, just because the organization is not very hierarchy oriented doesn't mean that your packages will not increase. Your packages will definitely go up depending on your performance on the road. Any question, guys, so far? Generally, this is how the day of an analyst life is. Work 12 a.m. to 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Honestly, I work starting 4 a.m. 4 a.m. on weekdays. Guys. I work from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning. Then I go for exercise, workout, some family time, and post that I again start working at 8 o'clock, and then I work till 5 o'clock. No, 6 o'clock at morning. Yeah. So 8 to 6 in the day and morning 2 hours. That is 2 and 8 to 6 is how much? 10 hours, I guess. Right? 10 to 12 hours. Yeah. So this is typically as a 12 hours rule, guys. It is written as 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So everybody works at different. Uh, there's few people like to work and stretch in the night. I like to work in the morning, stretch in the morning. So, is that promotion? There are only 2 4. You can work as long as 20 years as an analyst before one promotion. Honestly, because this is not hierarchical. We're just repeating the point, but that's how it is. These are the skills which should be there. And again, one of the important skills is passion and interest in the market. You need to be passionate about it. And I repeated it many times, right? And rest, everything I guess is very basic. You should be intelligent. Analytical skills should be there. Yeah, writing skills. Obviously, you have to write a report, so you should improvise your writing skills. Should be able to give your own opinion, right? A type of reports. So we covered this initiating coverage report. Yes or no? I showed you an example of an initiating coverage report in the last session. Do you guys really forgot everything? When I started the session asking this question only, but I haven't got any response other than Sakshi that we have seen at an initiating coverage report of patent LNG. So anyone other than Sakshi do remember it or not?
Yeah, Sumit, we remember it. I remember it.
Okay. So that Mr. Baka was actually a report which is called as initiating coverage report. And as I said, initiating coverage report is the report which an analyst makes for the first time about that company. When an analyst for the very first time cover a company and detail and write a report on it, is required to write something called as initiating coverage report when they are initiating a coverage on that company. That means they are recommending a buy on that company. That is the first time they write a report on it, and that should be very detailed. As you must have noticed, right? It was very detailed report, right? So first detailed report on any company is initiating coverage report, and we already show an example of it. So today we'll not spend time on it because I guess that day we spent almost 1.5 hours on that report. You guys read this report basically. Second in this report, let's go this way. Do not go this way. Go this way, and we will reach over here because this is entirely different thing altogether. So second is maintenance report. So once you write an initiating coverage report, giving a detailed perspective of why one should invest into the company, then you should from time to time write something called as a maintenance research report. Generally, the duration of this maintenance research report should be a week, a quarter basically. Every quarter as the company comes up with the result, you should also come up with a update. So that is why earnings update, right? After you wrote the initiating coverage report, whatever the new earnings which are coming up, how your thesis or investment rationale is changing because of the recent results and every quarter's result the company is publishing, you should make 1-page note or 2-page note maximum. So maintenance research reports are largely going to be very small, a 2-page or maximum 3-page. I haven't seen anything beyond 3-page ever under maintenance research report, right? So every just couple of pages report, just you are giving a small note basically that how your basic investment rationale is changing based on the recent result declared by the company. It can be result or an event, can be any event, like company comes up with a bonus issue, company comes up with any information on rights issue. So any such event which is a major event company comes up, you as soon as the company comes up with an event or announcement, you should write a maintenance research telling your clients that how your perspective or your understanding of the company changes with the new announcement or the latest announcement with respect to result or any event or any action by the management announced by the management or any external event which has happened and which you feel can have a huge impact on the company's balance sheet, you should cover it basically. Recommend change report. Basically, you started writing the report when you said that one should buy the stock. From buy to hold to sell, your your perspective on the companies can change, right? So as in when you think that earlier I said you should buy the company, but now you feel that now you should sell the company. As soon as you realize it, that one should not hold the company, should sell it. As soon as you realize it and you feel it about any company which you earlier recommended, you should write a recommend change report and distribute among its your clients basically, because your clients has the right to know that your views are changed, because your clients would have bought the shares on your recommendation. Now, when your recommendation tends to change, you need to immediately communicate in the form of your report or 1 page or 2 page again to your clients that now you want to, you are giving a sell rating or sell to, assigning a sell rating to the company because of these reasons. And you don't note down them in a page. And basically that becomes a sell note or a recommend change. Last but not the least, but before going to that, is there any question so far? Is there any question so far, guys? Anyone?
Sumit, I have some, but is it okay if I can connect to you on LinkedIn later on? I mean, not during the class.
So you can ask here only. Everything would be beneficial. Don't worry about it. If I think that it is not something which can help you in your career or someone's career,
No,
I would anyways ask
just
you to
about
connect separately.
internships. I mean, during since we are all, I mean, I'm into job or somebody else who is interested in internship will actually also be in a job. So, is it okay, possible for us? Do companies who offer internships, are they okay with it? I mean, the person is working somewhere and
See, obviously, you will have to do it in a manner that, first of all, it doesn't impact your work in your office, right?
right.
It's obviously, if you are in a full-time commitment with a company, that's what I said, right? My job used to start at 10 o'clock, right? I used to work from 10 to 7. So I didn't hamper that particular relationship with my company, who used to pay me full-time salary, right? But the
Right.
time which I used to use for internship, basically, is I used to work in the morning, basically. Till 4 to 8, it was my time. Then 8 to 10 is family and breakfast and everything, right? 4 to 8, mein se, I used to work out for 45 minutes, 1 hour, and 3 hours I used to work for that company. So that's how, Sushant, you have to create a midway, but you need to remain honest with yourself that you will not work during the working hours of the company with which you are working or from whom you are drawing salary, basically.
Yes, yes, obviously, yes.
So that you need to maintain a decorum of it. So far you do it, I don't think there is any issue. Today we are living in a world, everybody want to add on more skills and more knowledge. And anyways, if it's an internship, if you are doing internship in the same, see what law says is, if you are going from that angle, see for example, if you are into selling toothpaste, okay, and working with Colgate, and you are parallelly working with Pepsodent or the closer, then there's a problem. Are you getting it?
No, no, sorry.
See, if you are working with Colgate selling toothpaste full time, and then you at the same time you take an internship to sell close-up,
Okay.
then there is a
Okay,
problem
okay,
there, right?
Right.
There is a serious problem. But if you are working for selling toothpaste and parallelly you do an internship in your free time, which requires you to write a report or write something, it is okay. I don't know, Sushant, why these questions come to your mind, but let me show you. People do it and declare it on LinkedIn. People are doing it all the time. Let me show you. If you are doing some unrelated work which doesn't hamper your potential in your current company, I don't think there should be an issue. Let me show you. look at this lady. She is Nista Gahija.
Mhm.
She is right now content writer and brand director. ठीक है?
Mhm.
She is a chartered accountant. 2014 passed out. Worked full time with Kotak Mahindra Bank. 15 to 18, right? Now in her description, she writes, read that. I call myself as a writer, discovered its joy in 2014 and wrote my first book after giving CA final exam in November 2014. 2 months later, I cleared CA and writing became a side gig. She clearly mentioning it that it was a side gig, always a side gig for her. While it stayed true to keeping me alive every single day. As of now, writing a daily blog for 5+ years, finding joy in creating Twitter threads, author of 2 books and all. But was she not working full time somewhere else?
Yes, she was.
Right? And she is clearly right saying that writing is a side gig for her.
Mhm.
Or she was working in internal audit, doesn't require her to. If she is internal auditor at 2 different organizations at the same time, that's a problem.
Yeah, obviously.
She is doing 2 different things, and as soon as far as it doesn't impact Kotak Mahindra's work timing, Kotak Mahindra's required working timing is 8 to 5, for example. So during that time, you should not be doing side gig, right? You open your laptop in the office and start writing an article. So that's the problem.
Obviously, yes. Yes.
Rest everything is, I guess, हमारे दिल का एक वहम है और कुछ नहीं. करने की इच्छा, एक जज्बा और एक जुनून जो होता है, पैशन जो होता है, वो होना चाहिए. Things can be done. It all depends on how passionate are we and how passionate are we not. अब उसने full time कर लिया join इसको. Now she has become a full time content writer.
Okay.
After doing it for
Sumit,
5
Damni
years.
this side.
हाँ.
So it also depends on our company's policy, right? Whether we can work
I will
outside or
not
not.
go
Because
into it, Damini. It all depends on your jazba. That's what know. So if you give the name of policy, if you give the name of certificate, if you give the name of contract, then nothing is possible in our life. You live in that char diwari of your office and do not experience anything else, Damini.
no, I mean, right? Like I read somewhere, like we can do any internship or so if that company is not paying us. If that is a free of cost, right? Like we are just doing, we're just learning things, and that is not our
Damini,
particular
that's
domain,
what
then
I'm
they
saying.
can do it.
I'm not going to answer on that, Damini, as I said. I told you that the things where I'm not comfortable, I'm not answer. You should stop asking. As simple as. Because this contracts and everything is something I cannot tell you, Damini. If I tell you no company contract is this, then you will think and then you do something which is. I'm asking you to do in a manner that doesn't affect your company's work. As simple as that. Otherwise, stay like a frog, live in that well. Do not try, never try to come out of that well, and have peace in life. That's fine. If you want to do something to drive your passion, the only illegal thing is that you are working, Damini, with the company in the same role, and at the same time you have taken an internship in another role with another company, same role but with another company. That's the problem. Other than that, I don't think there is any problem. Legal, illegal, I don't have any idea. I'm not a legal expert, right? At the end of the day, I have been training since 2017, parallel to my jobs, right? And here I am. I'm not behind the bars, right? As simple as that. Oh, and my current company also know I'm a trainer. I give disclaimer as and where I join anywhere. I give disclaimer that on weekends, and the disclaimer I clearly write that on weekends I take trainings, but if at all there is a work in our company which requires me to work on weekend, I will cancel my training on that day. And that is why you guys would have found that many times I cancel my trainings. Dami, now you can unmute. I didn't ask you to go on mute as such. Okay.
Yes, Sumit, got it.
Right. I'm just saying that many times you would have observed I canceled the session all, abruptly, right?
Yes.
whatever reasons what would have been given to you by your coordinator. But 90% of the time, I would have my own office work, and which is always a priority for me. That comes, I cancel everything. And that much of, and I'm an external trainer to Imati Kasdan. So if I say I will not take session, they cannot force me to take session because I'm not on their roles, on their role, right? So at two times, you cannot be on role of two different companies. If you're thinking that like that, here I'm working as a freelancer, there I'm working on role with them full time, right? But that required me to work only Monday to Friday, that to 8 to 5, right? बाकी क्या लीगल है क्या इलीगल है ये सोचने से अच्छा है दामिनी कि हम वो करें जो हमारा दिल हमें करने को लिए कहता है, एंड वी बाउंड्रीज ना बनाए, मेंटल बाउंड्रीज बन जाती है बहुत बार हमारे लाइफ में. फोकस ऑन डूइंग व्हाट यू लाइक. डोंट यू थिंक कोटक महिंद्रा बैंक में नहीं होगा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट? इतनी बड़ी कंपनी है, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं होगा कोटक महिंद्रा बैंक में? बैंकिंग कंपनी है दामिनी, बैंकिंग कंपनी से ज्यादा किसी और कंपनी में कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं होता है. यू मस्ट बी अवेयर अबाउट इट. इफ नॉट, देन लेट मी टेल यू that banking company is the most contract oriented company. Anything and everything is not allowed in banking company because it's a financial services company. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
Still someone has done it, right? And she's rightly written over it. I don't think she is behind bar. So it all depends on your personal ambitions, where you want to go, how you want to go, Damini. I believe you can do things what you like. Okay.
Sure, Sumit, got it.
ये है कि मैं थोड़ा लीगलिटी में नहीं जाना चाहता और मैं उस पर कमेंट क्यों करूं, क्योंकि मैं कोई लीगल तो एक्सपर्ट हूं नहीं, राइट? ओके, कमिंग बैक. हाँ, एनी मोर क्वेश्चंस और इनिशिएटिंग कवरेज रिपोर्ट, मेंटेनेंस रिसर्च, रिकमेंड चेंज? Now the last report, which is the type of report, is sector research report or thematic research report. So these reports, sectoral reports or thematic reports, as the name suggests, guys, are written in a very detailed fashion covering a sector or a particular theme. Another important thing about writing sectoral research or thematic research report is that you need to be highly experienced to write a report like this. If you are writing a sectoral report, obviously you are required to know a lot of the deep things about that particular sector, because it's a matter of not a company, it's a matter of the entire sector. So you should have a deep understanding of the various companies which are a part of that sectors, its domains. Your industry knowledge of that particular sector should be very, very, very high. So you need to have a very macro level knowledge as compared to granular level company oriented knowledge. You should have the knowledge of all the companies or most of the companies working in that sector, and you should have also macro level knowledge which can impact that sector. So you need to have a very detailed understanding or deep understanding of the sector, and that is why after having worked in a particular sector for maybe 7, 8, 10 years, you think of writing a report like this. So same thing goes for thematic, that you pick a particular theme and you write a report on that, and which should be very detailed report, and a particular theme can have impact to various sectors. So to give a very practical perspective of it, guys, let me share a thematic report also with you. I have already shared an initiating coverage report with you, but let me now share a thematic report with you. Let me recall some. Value. Yeah, value migration thematic report from Motilal Oswal. 100 pages. You can see this is 100-page report, right? Written in 2017. This is a value migration. So value migration is a theme, guys, over here. So this is a thematic report written by brokerage house, fund house, Motilal Oswal. And I just want to tell you that the writer of this report, Mr. Duggar, Gaurav Duggar, right? Mr. Gaurav Duggar, Gautam Duggar, sir, Gautam Duggar. Now, if you see his profile on LinkedIn, you will realize that he's highly experienced. In fact, I guess he is the head of research in Motilal Oswal, and he is a frequent interviewer. Sorry, interviewee. Like he frequently gets interviewed on various business channels. So he is passed out from IIM Calcutta in 2005. So you can understand total experience goes more than 17 years, right? 16 years. And he has experience of working so long. And he's head of research right now in Institute for Institutional Equities in Motilal Oswal. So he has written this in 2017. Even in 2017, he was head of research, you can see. He's head of research in 2015. So you can understand how experienced you need to be in order to write a report. Almost in 2017, he had a experience of almost 12 years, right? So you need to have a very high level of experience to write a report like this. So over here, the theme is value migration. Basically, how value is migrating. So if you read this, how value is migrating from public sector bank to private sector bank. How value is migrating from within two-wheelers, right? How value is migrating in commodities. So how value is migrating in various industries like transportation, cement, pharmaceuticals, and all. So is let me so I've shared the link, guys. Can you see the link on the chat?
The link is working.
Yeah. So please, I want you to read not the whole report. It is a 100-page report. Don't think that don't worry. I will not ask you to read all this here. I want you to read from page number 7. Nine, 7, 8, 9, and yeah, from here, this page 3, from page number 3 to page number 9. So this page I'm talking about, guys. Okay, here we see. Can you see this page number 3? Hello, when we open in the window, can you see this page number 3 over here?
Yes,
As
yes,
in, this might be a different page. This page number might be different over here. A different page number. Okay, it's written 3 only. Okay, 3 only. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yes. Page number 3 to 9, I want you to read right away to get a glimpse of what can be a thematic report be. And also to appreciate this report as well. There's a lot of things which is written in this report has actually now played out in the coming in this 5 years. Actually, due to COVID, his technology-oriented thematic reports which he has written, or technology-oriented themes which he has mentioned, how the change is happening, has actually played out very drastically, very quickly. Sorry, at a drastic speed, and we have seen companies benefiting through it a lot. So read page number 3 to 9. This report was written in 2017, but as you will read it, you will find even today it is so relevant. Are my instructions clear, guys?
Yes, Sumit.
yes, Sumit.
Thank you for the confirmation, guys. Thank you for the confirmation. All right, guys, have you read it? What I just asked you to read? 9 pages, 3 to 9, I guess 7 pages, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, Mr. Bakar, have you read it?
8th page. I'm on 8th page, Sumit.
Great. Carry on, Mr. Bakar. Any other person who has read it or who wants to tell me that which page he or she is on?
I'm on
Sumit, I
the
read
8th
that.
page.
All right, thanks,
Sumit
Maitri, for
also.
confirming.
8 page.
Everyone seems to have met 8th page.
Almost done.
Today, you guys all are
Sumit, I
reading at
read
the
that.
same speed, I must say. Nice.
I read it.
Carry on.
It's really insightful. It's really
Insightful, right, Sushant?
Yeah, yeah.
ठीक है,
I
you're right.
mean, we on papers we all read that MBA के time पे या किसी भी time पे कि top down approach ये वो, but अब first time देखा कि it's actually top तो क्या है, पूरा वो bird's eye view वाला हिसाब है.
And see, it is 100 page. And
Yeah.
in 2019, I had read it. I must tell you, मैंने 2017 में report आ गई थी, but I had no clue उस समय investing क्या होता था. I was recently, it was 2017 was the year, Sushant, when I started reading. ठीक है, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि you start reading and suddenly you come across this article, because this is very professional and highly insightful kind of material, right? When you start reading, कैसे start करते हो आप? ET now पढ़ लोगे, या ET से start करते हैं, right? Economic Times पढ़ लेंगे, द हिंदू पहले से पढ़ता था, मतलब कॉलेज पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन के कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम फाइट करने के लिए द हिंदू आई टू रीड इन 2011-12, तो वो आया कि द हिंदू पढ़ लो, बट मजा नहीं आ रहा था. तो इट टेक्स टाइम, फिर आप कुछ और अच्छा पढ़ते इट वाज 2018 व्हेन आई एक्सप्लोर्ड अल्फा आइडियाज, राइट? एंड वंस दैट स्टार्टेड, फिर तो जर्नी कुछ अलग हो गई. तो हाँ, तो 2019 में आई हैड रेड इट, एंड आई मस्ट टेल यू, आई हैव रेड एवरी सिंगल पेज ऑफ दिस रिपोर्ट. मैंने ये फर्स्ट 9 पेजेस में थोड़ा आइडिया है कि इस रिपोर्ट के अंदर क्या है, मतलब उसके बारे में दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट, राइट? व्हाट आर द वेरियस थीम्स और समथिंग, उसके बारे में है. बट इफ यू रीड द एंटायर रिपोर्ट ना, आज के डेट पे भी ये उतनी ही मतलब वैल्यूएबल है.
Right. So Sumit, I just wanted to share something. I have already shared this with earlier also. I'm a business partner with Motilal Oswal. So हमारे पास मेल पे ये सब चीजें आती, not particularly this, मतलब कुछ ना कुछ पढ़ने को कुछ ना कुछ
बिल्कुल आती है. वो जो भी कुछ नया आता है, इनिशिएटिव कवरेज रिपोर्ट कुछ भी आता है, तो वो आप सबके मेल पे आती है. हाँ,
और ये अब इसे बेवकूफी कह दो या बदकिस्मती कह दो कि we don't read it. So, but yes, I do make sure कि they have their product called as IAP. So wherein basically it's all about portfolio advisory. So the RIAs who maintain those portfolios, they come up with the small sessions. कभी 1-1.5 घंटे का they have a session with business partners की what is all. तो वहाँ से भी काफी insights मिलते रहते हैं. But वही है कि खाली उतने से काम तो नहीं चलेगा.
मैं आपको बताता हूँ, मोतीलाल ओसवाल की जो रिपोर्ट्स है ना, वो बहुत ही क्वालिटी रिपोर्ट्स है, सुशांत. और ये इस तरह के जो थीमेटिक और रिसर्च रिपोर्ट्स है ना, जैसे गौतम दुग्गड़ है, जिनका आपके तो आपने बताया कि आप बिजनेस पार्टनर हो, तो गौतम दुग्गड़ तो मतलब बहुत ही फ्रिक्वेंटली इस पे आते हैं. तो इसीलिए आते हैं क्योंकि उनका काम इतना क्वालिटी है, इसलिए लोग उनको बुलाते हैं, राइट? तो ये रिपोर्ट्स ना जनरली ऐसे फ्रीली अवेलेबल होती नहीं है. कुछ एक रिपोर्ट्स है जो फ्रीली अवेलेबल है, अदरवाइज ये लोगों को बहुत पे करना पड़ता है. एंड कभी भी आपके वहां पर सुशांत देखो, कुछ रिपोर्ट्स आती है, क्वार्टरली अपडेट वाली रिपोर्ट्स आती होगी आपके वहां पर, है ना? ऐसा अभी चालू हो जाएगी, रिजल्ट सीजन चालू हुआ, आईटी कंपनीज की रिजल्ट रिपोर्ट आनी चालू हो जाएगी कि इन्फोसिस का रिजल्ट ये है और हमारा व्यू ये है, राइट? उनको आप इग्नोर कर दीजिए. बट कोई भी रिपोर्ट इनिशिएटिंग कवरेज के नाम पे अगर होती है ना, तो उसको पूरा पढ़िए. कोई भी सेक्टोरल रिपोर्ट आती है, उसको पूरा पढ़िए. जैसे आईटी के ऊपर पूरा सेक्टर के ऊपर वो व्यू, ऐसी पर्टिकुलर रिपोर्ट्स आती होगी. और थीमेटिक रिपोर्ट्स अगर आती है तो उनको पूरा पढ़िए. ये 3 तरह की जो रिपोर्ट्स है, इसमें से एक भी रिपोर्ट आप मत जाने दीजिए. सारी रिपोर्ट्स पढ़िए आप.
Sure, Sumit.
ये बहुत हाई क्वालिटी, क्योंकि इनिशिएटिंग कवरेज रिपोर्ट मल्टीपल रिव्यूज से निकलती है. किसी एक रिसर्च हाउस को ये पब्लिकली बोलना कि मैंने ये कंपनी को फॉलो करा है। आप मेरे को मोतीलाल ओसवाल का जैसे आप आइडेंटिफाई करो, मुझे नहीं लगता मोर देन 400 स्टॉक्स वो फॉलो करते होंगे, जबकि स्टॉक तो 3000 प्लस है इंडिया के अंदर, राइट? क्योंकि
रिकमेंडेशंस में हाँ 60 to 70 ही रहते हैं और
60 to
एडमंड के
70,
लिए।
हाँ। अब समझो आप 3000 में जैसे 5% ही या 6 या 7% ही स्टॉक्स जो है उनके रिकमेंडेशन में रहते हैं। उसके पीछे कारण ये भी बहुत बड़ा है कि क्वालिटी के ऊपर फोकस करना पड़ता है। तो बहुत ज्यादा क्यों ऐसा नहीं है कि आज इस कंपनी की इनिशिएटिव कवरेज रिपोर्ट बना दी, कल किसी और की बना दी, परसों उसकी बना दी, ऐसे वॉल्यूम वाला काम करना है नो डाउट, बट ऐसा भी नहीं है कि रोज की एक इनिशिएटिव कवरेज रिपोर्ट अगर एक बना रहे हैं तो फिर उसको बहुत मल्टीपल रिव्यूज से निकल के फिर वो पब्लिकली आई कि वो बहुत डिटेल में होती है, और फिर इफ इट इज नॉट क्वालिटी देन पीपल विल नॉट फॉलो यू।
ऑब्वियसली।
तो इसलिए वॉल्यूम चाहिए उनको, कंपनीज को वॉल्यूम चाहिए, लेकिन फंड्स का वॉल्यूम चाहिए, स्टॉक्स का वॉल्यूम नहीं चाहिए। स्टॉक्स तो वही 50-50-55 स्टॉक होंगे, बट उसके अंदर हाँ पर स्टॉक वो उसके लिए सेल्स को पुश करते हैं कि हाँ भाई ज्यादा ज्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट लाओ, ज्यादा ज्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट लाओ। फिर आपके मोतीलाल ओसवाल का ही एक पीएमएस चलता है, वैल्यू वैल्यू इन्वेस्टिंग पीएमएस, पोर्टफोलियो मैनेजमेंट सर्विस में, राइट? वेल सिट बाय राइट सिट टाइट करके एक थियरी है।
बाय राइट सिट राइट, हाँ
हाँ, बाय राइट सिट टाइट है ना, उसके अंतर्गत एक पोर्टफोलियो इनका चलता है ये वाला वैल्यू वैल्यू इन्वेस्टिंग, ये उसका नाम मैं भूल रहा हूँ।
प्लस या कुछ है, हाँ।
हाँ, मैं 2016-17 में उसको रेकमेंड किया करता था अपने क्लाइंट्स को। तो हम लोगों को कमीशन मिलता था जब मैं आईसीआईसीआई बैंक में था तब।
जी।
तो वो वाला जब उनके जैसे आपके यहाँ से मैं बहुत लोगों से मिलता था, जैसे इनफैक्ट मोतीलाल ओसवाल से बहुत लोग आते थे जिनसे हम मिलते थे, हमारे इंटरेक्शंस होते थे। और वही जैसे आप बोल रहे हो ना, वो लोग आते हैं फंड मैनेजर्स, और वो आते हैं और वो अपना आइडिया शेयर करते हैं, बताते हैं इसके सब के बारे में। तो वैसे मैं सेल्स में था तो हम भी ऐसे लोगों से सुनते थे, विच यूज टू बी फॉलोड बाई ड्रिंक पार्टी जैसे। तो इवनिंग में होता था, 6 o'clock का इवेंट स्टार्ट होता था मोतीलाल ओसवाल से, जैसे उनका नाम सोमैया है ना, पहले जो सीईओ थे वहाँ के, क्या नाम है उनका,
I'm
चेंज
not
हो गया
really
सर,
sure, but जी।
सोमैया ऐसे उनका नाम मैं भूल रहा हूँ। अभी उन्होंने दूसरी कंपनी ज्वाइन कर ली, बट काफी टाइम तक वो मोतीलाल ओसवाल में थे। तो वो आते थे, और भी आपके यहाँ पर हेड लोग आते थे, फंड मैनेजर्स, और वो सब आके बताते थे अलग अलग थियरी के बारे में कि ये है, इसमें ये चल रहा है, मार्केट में ये चल रहा है, वो चल रहा है। तो उसको सुनता था तो बहुत अच्छा लगता था मेरे को। दिस आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट 2016 व्हेन आई वाज वर्किंग विद आईसीआईसीआई वेल्थ मैनेजमेंट सेल्स डिपार्टमेंट। तो बहुत क्वालिटी वर्क होता है आप मोतीलाल ओसवाल का। ये रिपोर्ट ही देख लीजिए ना कितनी क्वालिटी है।
जी जी, वो तो है। तो यही एक रीजन था आई स्टार्टेड एज अ, चलो आई डोंट से ठीक है, सेल्स थोड़ा क्लाइंट जोड़ने का काम रहता है, बट अदर रीजन वाज कि एटलीस्ट एक इंसाइट मिलना स्टार्ट हो जाए, क्योंकि आप यू कैन नॉट डिपेंड ऑन द फाइनेंशियल
And
एक्सपर्ट
then many people from Motilal Oswal who were into sales has actually launched their own portfolio of ज्यादा नहीं चाहिए, 50 clients चाहिए, कितने 50 clients, 5 crore each, portfolio becomes 250 crore. Your fee is for example even 1%, तो 250 crore का 1% भी 2.5 crore होता है साल की इनकम। क्योंकि आई वॉज इनटू वेल्थ मैनेजमेंट ना, तो मुझे पता है, एक ड्रीम मेरा ये भी था, बट वो सेल्स का प्रेशर इतना खराब था कि फिर आई इट वाज नॉट अबाउट प्रेशर, इट वाज अबाउट मिस सेलिंग।
राइट।
हाँ, जो ये जनरली मोतीलाल ओसवाल जैसी कंपनीज में नहीं होता है, ये ऐसी कंपनीज में होता है जहां पर इंश्योरेंस प्रोडक्ट बेचना भी आपका एक टारगेट होता है। वहां पर ये आई डोंट नो मोतीलाल ओसवाल में इंश्योरेंस प्रोडक्ट का कुछ होगा, ये तो प्योर इक्विटी और डायरेक्ट।
नहीं, दे सेल इंश्योरेंस आल्सो, दे सेल पीएमएस एआईएफ इक्विटी,
पीएमएस एआईएफ और ये सब तो है, बट इंश्योरेंस का मुझे नहीं पता था। ठीक है, तो
इंश्योरेंस दे हैव, बट वो कुछ मतलब दैट्स नॉट वेरी स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड, मतलब उनका कोई एक बंदा है, ही सिट्स समवेयर इन दिल्ली एंड मेरा क्लाइंट यहाँ जम्मू में है, वो उससे कहाँ इंश्योरेंस के केस
क्रॉस सेलिंग करेगा,
या यू नो समबडी शुड बी, मतलब बीच में एक एजेंट सामने होना चाहिए जिसको आप फॉलो कर सके बस।
हाँ, आप तो सिर्फ उनको वो दे दोगे, क्या कहते हैं उसको, लीड दे देंगे आप तो, और फिर वो आगे से पूरा अपने मैनेज करेगा, राइट? वो पूरा एक्सप्लेन करेगा
नहीं, आई
प्रोडक्ट
हैव
का।
माय ओन इंश्योरेंस एडवाइजर्स हियर इन माय होम स्टेट, तो आई नो उनका मतलब वो मिससेल नहीं करेंगे कभी,
ओके।
तो वैसे रहता है अगर।
हाँ, तो जब मैं खुद डायरेक्ट में इसमें था ना, तो इंश्योरेंस भी हमारा बहुत बड़ा टारगेट हुआ करता था, और वहां पर ना मिस सेलिंग होने के चांसेस बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ जाते हैं।
जी
एटलीस्ट आपको यूलिप प्रोडक्ट के बारे में पता होगा, राइट? तो वो जो यूलिप प्रोडक्ट है वो बहुत ज्यादा नोटोरियस प्रोडक्ट है, तो वजह से फिर मैंने जॉब छोड़ दी। नहीं, मेरे को वो नहीं
हाँ।
बेचना था। इंश्योरेंस को म्यूचुअल फंड करके बेच देते हैं कुछ लोग, ऐसा
जी।
कुछ कुछ लोगों का है आउट ऑफ प्रेशर। तो मुझे कहीं लगा कि यार ये सब ना करूं मैं, इसलिए आई लेफ्ट इन 6 मंथ ओनली। बट जब मैंने ज्वाइन किया था ना, तो उनका 1 महीने का
जी।
बहुत बड़ा ट्रेनिंग होता है हैदराबाद में आईसीआईसीआई का, अपने हेल्थ
जी।
वेल्थ मैनेजर का। उस ट्रेनिंग
जी।
में ये सारे प्रोडक्ट का मुझे नॉलेज मिला था, एंड आई हैड गॉट अ वेरी वेरी डिटेल्ड नॉलेज। तो मेरा तब एक ड्रीम बना था कि यार, और तब मैंने अपने एलम्स के बारे में भी सुना, जो इसी रोल में 10 साल रहे हुए, और उनके बारे में भी सुना।
हम्म,
तो मैंने देखा कि
हम्म।
उन्होंने क्लाइंट सर्विस करते 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 क्लाइंट के साथ इतना गहरा रिलेशनशिप बना दिया कि वंस दे केम आउट देयर ओन।
Yeah, they
और
do.
वो तभी हो सकता है, उतनी हिम्मत तभी आ सकती है, उतना जस्टिस आप उस रोल में तभी कर सकते हो कि जब आप सिर्फ सेल्स में तो थे, लेकिन सेल्स के साथ में आपने फोकस पूरा इंसाइट बटोरने में भी कर रखा था।
Right, right, exactly.
तभी उतना आप आ सकते हो। अदरवाइज क्लाइंट्स भी बेवकूफ तो है नहीं जो 5 करोड़ 15 करोड़ आपको देंगे, तो बहुत सोच समझ के देते हैं। आपको तो पता ही है एचएनआईज के अगर साथ आप थोड़ा बहुत भी डील करते
वो
थे।
तो that's more of a husband-wife relationship, long
हाँ।
term.
तो बहुत ज्यादा ट्रस्ट होना
And
चाहिए और आपको कंटिन्यूस
yeah,
परफॉर्मेंस देनी पड़ेगी।
and Sumit, if you remember, मैंने आपको 2 हफ्ते पहले, मतलब last class में I was discussing about one of my friend who was working with ICICI and he left. And उसने मुझे यही reason दिया, just because insurance products को चिपका देते थे. I mean, किसी की
हाँ
डेथ हुई थी and उसकी मैनेजर गई थी, वो हाँ उसकी वाइफ को चिपका के आ गए उल्टा
हाँ,
क्लेम
इस
के
तरह
थ्रू.
से भी होता है, बहुत खराब है।
तो that was the reason he said कि यार I thought कि नहीं यार ICICI इस तरह से नहीं. तो
हम्म।
maybe
वैसे वैसे ही कुछ है, मोरल ग्राउंड पे ही मैंने छोड़ा है। और
जी
मुझे
जी
ये, मैं आईसीआईसीआई को नहीं कहूंगा, क्योंकि आईसीआईसीआई कल्चर कैसा है कि आईसीआईसीआई आप ट्रेनिंग अटेंड करोगे ना वो वाली, तो आपको लगेगा कि यार इतना नोबल थॉट है, सब कुछ बहुत बढ़िया है। लेकिन कुछ एक
जी.
लोग ना, वो भले आईसीआईसीआई में हो, एक्सिस में,
Right,
सब जगह पे ना,
right,
कुछ
right,
लोग
right,
इतने
right.
ज्यादा उसको पुश कर देते हैं उस प्रोडक्ट को। जगह नहीं देखते,
Mhm.
सिचुएशन नहीं देखते, सबसे पहले नीड नहीं देखते। जगह सिचुएशन तो ठीक है, किसी आदमी का अगर 50 करोड़ का पोर्टफोलियो है, उसको मैं 5 लाख रुपए का यूलिप सिर्फ इसलिए बेच के आता हूँ क्योंकि उसमें मुझको 1 लाख का कमीशन मिलेगा। अरे 50 करोड़ का पोर्टफोलियो बॉस, उसका पोर्टफोलियो मैनेजमेंट एडवाइजरी दो ना, उसको कहाँ 5 लाख के इंश्योरेंस की जरूरत है? थिंक अबाउट इट।
Right,
50 करोड़ का
right,
मालिक
right.
अगर मर भी गया तो उसके बच्चे को आपने 5 लाख रुपए का इंश्योरेंस दिया कि बोला आपके पापा का 5 लाख रुपया लो, वो 5 लाख लेके क्या करेगा वो?
कुछ भी नहीं.
तो
Right,
कोई
right, right.
पॉइंट नहीं है। वो नीड बेस्ड, आपकी इन्वेस्टमेंट एडवाइजरी नीड बेस्ड होनी चाहिए हमेशा।
जी.
तो वो एक जो चीज थी वो बहुत ज्यादा था। तो मैंने कहा यार, साल के शुरुआत में ही, मतलब करियर के शुरुआत में ही, अगर कोई बड़ा थप्पा मुझ पे लग गया बिकॉज ऑफ एनी ऑफ मिस सेलिंग, आउट ऑफ सम प्रेशर,
Mhm,
कभी कभी गलती से आप कर लेते हैं, तो कभी गलती से
mhm,
कुछ हो गया, तो फिर मुझे पीएमएस सेल करने में बहुत फायदा, बहुत मजा आता था। तो हमारा पीएमएस उस समय जो प्रोडक्ट हुआ करता था आपका, इसका इसका मोतीलाल ओसवाल का, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता था। और तो हम वही ज्यादातर बेचते थे। तो उस पे ना कैसा था कि 4% ऐसा कुछ मिलता था। 25 लाख रुपीज मिनिमम आपको इन्वेस्टमेंट कराना होता था उस समय। अब शायद 50 लाख हो गया है उसका,
mhm.
पीएमएस का मिनिमम
50
इन्वेस्टमेंट।
yes, yes,
हाँ,
it's
तो
50.
उस समय
Yeah.
25 लाख करवाना होता था। और वो जो मीटिंग हुआ करती थी वो एचएनआईज के साथ में, उसमें बिकॉज आई यूज टू ब्रिंग समवन फ्रॉम मोतीलाल ओसवाल, तो क्लाइंट मेरा होता था,
Mhm,
मैं मोतीलाल ओसवाल के किसी एडवाइजर को लेके
mhm.
जाता था साथ
Right.
में। और ये क्योंकि जो एडवाइजर हुआ करते थे वो बहुत एक्सपीरियंस्ड हुआ करते थे। तो जो मेरे साथ में जो एडवाइजर
Mhm,
चलती थी उनका नाम श्वेता था। तो वो समवेयर अराउंड 12 ईयर्स
mhm,
एक्सपीरियंस।
mhm.
क्योंकि एचएनआईज के साथ डील करना, और एचएनआईज का डायरेक्ट कुछ नहीं होता था, आपने ये स्टॉक पिक किया इस पोर्टफोलियो में, तो ये क्यों किया, वो स्टॉक, उसमें ना बड़ा मजा आता था। तब मुझे लगा कि यार बॉस,
Mhm.
मुझे को रिसर्च में जाना चाहिए कहीं ना कहीं। वो भी एक इस तरह की मीटिंग्स थी, वहां से मुझे लगा था कि यार ये जो लड़की काम कर रही है वो काम
जी
मुझे करना है।
जी
मैं इतने
जी
इंसाइट्स कैसे पैदा कर सकूं?
जी.
तो फिर
Right, right.
वो भी हुआ था कि यार सिर्फ मीटिंग्स अरेंज करवाना और क्लाइंट से मिलवाने में कुछ नहीं है, मतलब देयर इज नो पॉइंट इन दैट। तो बहुत अच्छा लगता था मेरे को मोतीलाल ओसवाल के लोगों के साथ काम करना। हालांकि बहुत
No, it's
नेगेटिव
very.
फीडबैक भी है मोतीलाल ओसवाल के लोगों में कि यार बहुत ज्यादा काम करवाती है, बहुत पुश करती है, ये है वो है। बट दैट इज फाइन, मतलब वर्क कल्चर इज डिफरेंट एवरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन टू
उनका बिजनेस ही वैसा है. They need to bring in business.
ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। इनफैक्ट आज ही मेरी एक स्टूडेंट का मोतीलाल ओसवाल में हुआ, शी मेल्ड मी ये, आई एम रियली, उनके साथ अभी मेरा एक
So
कॉन्वर्सेशन हुआ था
great, great.
इंटरव्यू प्रिपरेशन के लिए। उसका फिर
जी.
आज हो गया, तो उसका मैसेज आया कि, भी आया था कुछ तो कि ये सर, आई एम सेलेक्टेड इन मोतीलाल ओसवाल एज अ फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर। तो ये एज ए थोड़ी पर्सनल डिटेल है, इसलिए आई एम जस्ट रिमूविंग इट
No,
फ्रॉम दिस कन्वर्सेशन।
that's okay. That's
या
okay.
तो उनका
But
आज मतलब हुआ था। बट बढ़िया है, होता है, ठीक है, मतलब गुड यार, नाइस। So how's this report? If you guys have read it now, 96 pages, 7 pages. How's this report? What is your understanding? Maitri, you tell me. I was silent. Why not you jump in and tell me what is your understanding of this report?
Sumit, what I understood is basically there are three stages. One is value inflow, the other one is stability and value outflow. Phases of business. First phase is where you
बिजनेस बोल दीजिए या इंडस्ट्री लेवल पे बोल दीजिए, सेक्टर लेवल पे, कि हर सेक्टर में ऐसा होता है. ठीक है, चलेगा. हाँ.
Okay. So I'll use the word business. I'm more comfortable.
ठीक है.
So in the first phase, you will capture the market. Second phase, your growth becomes stabilized. Third phase, which is the most dangerous phase, where you start losing your market share. That is where all this shift is happening. The reasons might be because of obsolete technology or cost or anything. There are many reasons.
Service quality.
Yeah,
Product
the
quality,
shift,
product
quality, switching cost. So all this migration happens in the third phase. So whenever business, these three phases come in every business. There is no business which can stay only in the market acquisition state, or it can flourish forever. So any point of time, definitely this third stage they'll be reaching. The challenge is how soon they'll come back to the first stage again.
And on the top of it, during this challenge, if you somehow found some business which is actually beneficiary of this disruption, wherein ki आप एक leader का product छोड़ के किसी और का product you are planning to buy. When customers are switching from a leader's product to some new product, which is a very small organization, then if you at that point in time, if you pick that company ना, मैं बता रहा हूँ, that is a real luck. बहुत ज़्यादा luck की requirement है.
No, identifying that you are in this third stage and understanding what is the reason for loss of your business, or why there is no sales at all. Why there is drastic drop in the sales. That is the most challenging part.
वो challenging part है businesses के लिए. Investors के लिए वो बहुत ही बढ़िया part है कि उसके उल्टा किसी कंपनी के साथ हो रहा. Right? Some leader is losing business and another one is grabbing business. So ऐसा कभी अगर मिल गया ना Maitri, तो it can give you 100x returns. 100x returns. Honestly, I'm telling you. So in 1 rupee invested become 100, 1 lakh invested become a crore in that opportunity.
Yes, because like for an investor, he'll be focusing on both the companies, this company as well as that company. So we know what is the weakness of this company and what is the strength of the other startup or whatever it is.
That is this thing. So yeah, बहुत बढ़िया observation. What else?
Mainly this is what it is, and it is showing like sector wise. How private banks, like public banks, like people are shifting from public to private.
So, so they are telling about some of the
sectors
clearly visible thematic change, right? Or thematic disruption.
Along with the name of the industries also, like
so unorganized,
Titan, Paytm.
So unorganized to organized. So one of the biggest beneficiary of this is Dr. Lalpath Labs, for example.
Yeah, diagnostic center. It says
diagnostic
Dr. Lab.
So there are many unorganized players in this, but what Dr. Lalpath Labs did is grab the business from this unorganized and made it their own business in an organized format. So Dr. Lalpath Labs is an organized player. So this is reflected in the share price. We look at them, it is clearly reflecting. As soon as people started realizing that there is a unorganized to organized theme going on, see what is the kind of wealth it has created. 200% return. Uske baad mein theek hai, there's some correction. Still, it is 168% up from the time of its issue, its IPO. After time tak ye aise hi raha tha, down. People were not able to realize their importance. As soon as people realized ki boss, when numbers started speaking in the financial statements and leadership changing from unorganized to organized, this is what the massive rally in the stock you can see. 200% in a very short span of 2, 3 or 4 years. तो ये है. और बाकी जियो का तो आपने देखा, Reliance का, Reliance was struggling at that problem, right? Reliance was struggling at that problem back in 2015 up to 2014, 13, 12, 15, when they were sitting on a petrochemical business which has become largely mature and they see no growth from there. and suddenly they pick Jio over there, and their and the kind of wealth it has created. So let's look at it. Reliance Industries, right?
Most clicked product was that portable Wi-Fi device, because until then the BSNL or Airtel, like they used to plug in. It needs to be plugged in, but this Jio, it's portable.
Now look at it, this Maitri, that it is not about Jio ne kya product launch kiya, nahi kiya. That's well, all the products of Jio's are very good. But what I'm trying to say is they were struggling with a problem at industry level. You said, na industry level, they were struggling at an industry level problem where they were not moving anywhere. So 2009 to 2014, if you see, the stock has not moved anywhere. It has given minus 11% return, right? Over a period of 7 years. 6-7 years. And as soon as in around 2015-16 they launched Jio for public, though they launched Jio in 2014 itself. इसलिए छोटा सा bump आपको दिखेगा यहाँ पर. अगर यहाँ से यहाँ पर if you watch, there is a little bump over here, 31%. Can you see that? Why it is? Because they had launched Jio and few people already got to know about it. They had launched it only for their employees on an experimental basis. Only the employees of Reliance were given Jio exclusive connection for almost 2 years or 1.5 years, and they collected their feedback, and based on that they launched it for public. तो थोड़ा सा उसी समय जंप हो गया था, बट उसके बाद में जो ड्रास्टिक जंप आया वो यहाँ से आया when they launched Jio for public, and since then there is no looking back. A company which is already so mature, giving a 400% return on the top of it is no joke, right? It's a big thing. So this happened because with the disruption happening, they also disrupted their business model, switched from pure petrochemical business and diversified it on telecom.
And they focus more on data rather than voice. They understood that voice won't be.
And they were late in the market, so they could have they were in a position to take a more calibrated approach. Other players who were there in this industry, Sushant, they were there since 1995 or 2000. So they were learning by experimenting. They were experimenting something. In some experiments they were failure. Some experiments they were successful. So accordingly they were learning and doing. And by the time Reliance came 2016, the industry was already 20 years old. So Reliance had an experience and understanding based on historical performance of others. That is why we say, right, if you want to learn, Sushant, in today's world, you do not have to really wait for so long, because you take classes like this and you can learn by someone who is already doing it from last 20 years. So what somebody has learned over a period of 20 years, you might be able to learn the same thing by 6 years by learning from him, right? By studying his historical performance. तो इसीलिए बोलते हैं रीडिंग इज अ वेरी गुड हैबिट. आपको लोगों की बायोग्राफीज पढ़नी चाहिए. बोलते हैं ना ऐसे कि बायोग्राफीज, वो इसीलिए क्योंकि उनके जो चैलेंजेस है वो चैलेंजेस हमारे लाइफ में भी आएंगे, बट because we are seeing and how these people have overcome their challenges, so we can strategize better than how they could have strategized during their time, because during their time so much of information exchange platforms were not available. Today it is available, right? तो वही चीज रिलायंस के साथ थी कि इंडस्ट्री ऑलरेडी मैच्योर थी. It was a 12 players, 13 players industry which was highly competitive and already mature, means it has reached to hook and crooks of the entire nation. तो उन सब के एक्सपीरियंसेस पे से उनकी फेलियर से सक्सेस से रिलायंस ने क्विकली अडेप्ट किया अपने आप को और उन्हीं जगह पे फोकस किया जहाँ पर they could generate something meaningful out of it.
Yeah.
But Sumit, industry भी survive तभी करेगी if you migrate to new technology or to new sector.
So that is a true.
But Sumit, Nokia के साथ जो हुआ, I think Nokia का जो downfall था, it didn't migrate to new technology. That is why
Nokia तो फिर ठीक है यार. Nokia का तो फिजा कैसा है कि Nokia का they still could realize little late but still could realize, and that is why Nokia is still known to us as a brand. वो किसी और में चला गया, कुछ और भी उसका engineering business है Nokia का. But the biggest victim of not migrating at the right time is actually BlackBerry. BlackBerry तो आपको पता होगा, right? BlackBerry was a brand.
Right. मतलब एक बहुत अच्छा brand. हाँ. Business phone कहलाता था time पे.
In fact, the president of United States, USA used to keep BlackBerry.
It was
That
a
was the
luxury
privilege of
product
holding a
then.
BlackBerry.
Luxury
Yeah, it
phone.
was a
right?
luxury.
लग्जरी के साथ में क्योंकि वो बहुत ज्यादा कॉन्फिडेंशियल हुआ करता था. It used to keep the confidentially intact, and that is why the president also used to keep BlackBerry. But with time they couldn't वो बोलते हैं कि migrate, right? When Apple was getting launched, when Apple was launching touch-based mobile phone, the CEO of BlackBerry said it will never happen. People are so liking this QWERTY keypad typing that they will never switch to a screen, touch screen, and it is a waste product, and it will be the biggest flop. These were the statements of the CEO of the company. So if the CEO thinks that there is no need to change, there is no point that the employees under him would ever change, right? And that's why they say you should never fall in love with your product. That is the biggest problem. If you fall in love with your product, you never grow. Right? So that was the problem with BlackBerry. And Nokia के साथ the same problem है. They were like कि phone होना चाहिए, battery पे focus किया उन्होंने. But these people couldn't realize that mobile will become much more streamlined, deep down will become the life of the people, right? It will become extremely important for every moment of in person's life. अभी भी आपको पढ़ाते पढ़ाते जाती है किसका WhatsApp तो आ गया, किसी का क्या आ गया. So this is not normal, right? This is not normal. This is abnormal, but this is what it has turned into. That we all have become mobile has become the most loveliest thing in our life. Everything else comes later.
Addiction.
Addiction बोल दीजिए, yeah, correct. So yes. So yes, value migration. So this is called a thematic report. The theme over here is value migration, and obviously they are giving due credit. The writer is giving due credit to the persons whose idea they have taken. So this idea is from Adrian Slivotsky. He's written a book called Value Migration, and from which this person, the writer has taken some learning, and then he has applied that learning to the business segments, various business segments covering banking, autos, capital goods, etc.
Sumit, can we take 10 minutes break, Sumit? That's
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yes, sorry. Please go for the break and then.
Thank you.
All right, guys, are you back?
Yeah, Sumit.
Thank
Yes,
you for the
Sumit.
confirmation. It was a friend's message. Okay, yes, Rohit, you can email me. If you are there, Rohit, are you there? Hello, I just saw your message. Okay, having seen the sector-wise reports, thematic reports, now just let's go through a nice way of presenting certain aspects of initiating coverage report done in case of Colgate, right? So we'll just look at Colgate, not Britannia. Check. Here it is. So I would like you guys all to focus over here. Tell me, what does this slide tells you? Spend 2 minutes on it and tell me what does it tell you. Yes, guys, tell me, what does this slide tells you?
Sumit, it's a overall market breakup where the people is addicted to 8% of a tooth powder and 69% of a toothpaste, and the toothbrush is 23%. The market size is 75 billions. 75 billion. Oral care market grown up 12 to 13%. Toothpaste grown up 12 to 13%, where the tooth powder was 5 to 8%.
So this is what written over here, but what does you, how do you interpret it? Tell me that. This is information given, right? What can
Yeah.
be one line interpretation of this?
Like it's a total about the toothpaste of the in market, like Colgate industry breakup.
This tells me about the industry size where Colgate is into. It's into an industry size of 75 billion, right? Other important information which it gives is this, that if you are into oral care, if you are following oral care, you should invest into a company which is focused on tooth powder or toothpaste.
Okay.
Hey, I'm asking a question. If you are planning to invest into oral care, would you be focused on investing in a toothpaste player or tooth powder player?
Toothpaste.
Toothpaste. toothpaste.
Right? This is what you need to interpret, guys. This is how it is to be done. You know, you need to read. There's a famous phrase, right? We need to read between the lines, right? What is written, we read. But what is not written is something also we need to understand and make up our mind, right? That this is such a powerful slide. It tells me that you should not bet any single money on a tooth powder manufacturing. One, it is taking it is a very small size of the total industry, and second, it is not growing at a reasonably industry level growth rate. Forget about the other segments of the industry, but this particular segment is not growing even equal to industry level growth rate, which is generally consumed understood as an average industry rate is considered as an average growth rate for any sector which is part of that industry, right? I hope you understand this, guys.
Yes.
Now read this slide and tell me what does it tell. Just spend 2 minutes on this slide and tell me what does it tell. Yeah, tell me, what is this slide telling me?
Depends on the market cap of the companies. How they are using the market share.
Yeah, so that is what written over here. But what is your understanding? You tell me that.
So since Colgate is the market leader, so obviously investing in Colgate makes sense. But if anyone wants to consider investing into other alternative other than Colgate, then they should consider Dabur, because Dabur's share is increasing and HUL's share is decreasing. So
Brilliant. Brilliant. And you should also watch the new entrant, right?
yes.
Great.
If I would like to invest some amount, So majority of that chunk will be into Colgate and Dabur, and some part would be more into the new entrants because they're more probably they may grow at a higher rate.
So that is interesting to read that what is the new entrant anyways making any big thing. So if it is making something reasonably good growth, if it is showing you, then obviously you can look forward to invest into it. Yeah. Because the opportunity size for it is very big as compared to the opportunity size for Colgate or any other player which is already matured, right?
Yes, yes.
Look at this.
I'll be more interested in a company which has a significant penetration in the urban areas, but which is more focusing more on penetrating into the rural areas.
All right. What else? Anything else which comes to mind?
New area of growth. Because all the companies initially concentrated on the urban area, which left like 329 million consumers do not use the toothpaste. So now they're focusing on rural side, where there is a lot of.
Who is focusing on rural side?
Companies on.
Where is it written? Companies is focusing on rural side.
So once they've reached all the cities, so next they'll move for small cities. Then
Who
for
they? Who they only? It is not about any companies. It is about industry, right? The entire industry. Maitri, the best this website, this slide tells me is this, that if any company needs to grow, it needs to go to rural. That's what it tells me.
Yeah, so yeah, got it.
Right. If you are evaluating any company and you find that that company has no presence in rural, you can outrightly reject that company based on this understanding. Why? Because urban area is already penetrated and now the growth is in rural. If the company in toothpaste manufacturing you're evaluating has no presence in rural, then there's no point it can grow. Are you getting it?
Yeah, got it. No more growth here. Saturation.
The saturation in urban and
saturation in urban. Yeah, that's
right. So players you will bet in should have presence in rural. Otherwise, you will not bet on it. Okay. So that's what it tells you. It is no they. It's not about companies going there.
Yeah, yeah.
But if companies going there, I will invest. Otherwise, I will not invest.
Got it.
Got it.
Per capita consumption will increase if people in India are more aware of the problem of the dental problems.
So the companies who are investing a lot in the marketing, to capture the market. I mean,
And
advertisements.
just a second, guys. Just a second. I was in a second's break. I was in washroom. Yeah, I heard some lady speaking something first. Let her speak first, and then.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Sumit.
Yeah,
So,
please repeat.
so I was saying the per capita consumption in India will increase if people are more aware of the dental problems.
So I would like to bet for companies who is focusing or investing on increasing the awareness with respect to going for toothpaste twice a day, brush twice a day. This kind of advertisement awareness, if some company is trying to make, I will focus on that company, right? Because I know the opportunity is much bigger if the companies who are enhancing this awareness can have higher market share, right?
Right.
Making sense or not?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Please
Sumit.
go ahead. You are making some point. Yeah.
I was saying the same point. I would, as an investor, I would be focusing more on companies who are, expanding more on marketing. I mean, marketing in terms of creating awareness, like you said, so that people are, they find it much easier to, get aware and go for the products.
Makes sense. Another important thing is innovation. Companies which are coming up with sensitivity, specific problem solution oriented toothpaste, sensitivity, gums, whitening, they have
Right.
larger scope for growth, right? Because the market in urban area is really improving from a plain vanilla toothpaste product to problem specific or dental problem specific or centric solutions, right? Now look at this and tell me what is it telling. And do relate it with the industry numbers which you have seen. Just do not forget, everything is in continuation. So if you are comparing, you match it with the industry numbers also, which you have already gone through.
Colgate seems to have increased focus more on toothpaste sales, which has grown up by 16% compounded annually, and which eventually means that more sales and more, the
Which eventually
kind of
means the company is focusing at the right place where the industry is moving, right?
yeah.
Okay. Because we noted that toothpaste as a category is growing at a faster rate than tooth powder in the
Yeah.
overall industry, right?
Right, right.
Yeah. What else? Any other observation?
And after in the financial year 9-10, they have probably they might have, I'm not sure, but they may have spent a lot on on lowering their costs and increasing their distributions and overall
something which
अपने
has
toothpaste,
happened in FY10, it seems so. Yeah,
yeah,
something has happened.
overall,
Correct.
yeah, to reach out to people and make sure that
Maybe new products they have launched, or maybe they have expanded
maybe,
in
yeah,
rural.
yeah,
Something they have done right. Something they have
right,
done right. That is why it resulted into higher share.
right. And since the industry is growing at around 12-13%, and their sales are growing at
I was
around,
waiting for someone to speak. Say, speak. Being the mature, being the largest market share, the company is still growing at a rate higher than the industry growth rate,
yeah,
which says that this is doing something super brilliant, because that means this market share would keep on growing. Why? Because it will eat away the market share of some loose players who would be losing their market share because they would be growing at a rate lower than the industry growth rate, right? We have done some example like this in a telecom example, right? You remember it?
right, right.
I was waiting for this point. Thank you for bringing that up. Look at this.
It seems that they have focused a lot on rural penetration and hello, hello.
Yeah, you're audible. I'm listening. Yes.
Oh, so it seems that they have focused a lot on penetrating into the rural markets, which is probably the reason we could see a sudden jump in financial year after sudden jump after 9-10, and since it also says that which it is also written here that the distribution has increased by 25%.
This is in line with industry, right? The overall industry will notate the player who is having rural presence will do well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here
Yeah.
is a company which is actually focusing on rural, yes or no?
Yes,
In the
yes,
right place or not?
yes.
Right? And the company, we also noted the company which is increasing its market share would have to launch new products like sensitivity, gums, whitening, toothpaste. Is the company doing that?
Yes, it seems so.
This is what. Any other observation, guys? Anyone? All right. No other objection, guys? Look at it.
नाइन टेन के इंक्रीज के बाद the margins have if not declined but try steady होने का try they've tried to get more steady. Is it so?
Okay, well, that might be the case. Guys, what about others? They are not interested in the course, they can leave it. Sushant and I can have one-on-one solo discussion if that's the case. We are on the end of the session. You guys are sitting like a silent participation, nothing. Please start participating. Please apply. Still now, articulation is the most important thing, guys, if you want to really grow in your career. You want to stay silent, no discussion, nothing. Sushant is taking all the burden on his shoulders. Yes, Sushant, please go ahead. What will you say?
9-10 के sudden jump के बाद these margins have tried to maybe get tend towards stability. If not
Maybe
decrease.
it is stability, but it doesn't seem like a stability, right? It's going down after having that jump of FY 2010. Now, if you remember, you had observed earlier also that suddenly there is a jump in market share, something brilliant they have done in 9-10, right? And there's a story behind it, and that is why I remained silent over there, because you will realize FY 10 has been a year the company had achieved the best profitability, but after that something happened which made them go slow on
Maybe
margins.
they didn't focus. They didn't continue.
Maybe they are advertising more. You remember you said advertising companies focus on advertising or not?
Yes.
Because their EBITDA margin is also going down.
Yeah, maybe because of those costs. Yeah, advertising, marketing costs.
Or is it because the industry is becoming much more competitive now that the company which will not do proper advertising would not be able to sustain because of high competition?
Yes.
So all these questions should come to your mind, right? And,
And
when
we
you
also
will,
because of noticed that
migration.
sorry, Sushant, please complete your point and then Sakshi speak. Yes, Sushant, what are you saying?
We also noticed that there are new entrants. So maybe they
okay, now you have moved the. That's what actually happened. Look at it. Brilliant, Sushant. I'm really impressed. I'm highly impressed. Look at it.
What does this mean? Ad spends to sales. Percentage of advertisement cost to sales.
What are you saying? Can you say again? What are you saying?
What is the meaning of ad spends to sales? Is it advertisement cost?
Yeah, advertisement spends to sales, right? And why?
Okay,
what happened? See, you talked about the new product launch, right? This is what had happened. The advertisement expense is going up, and the same thing happened. It happened even during 1993 when HUL launched Pepsodent. So this time, who is launching what? We saw a new entrant. In 10, 11, 12, we are seeing a new entrant. What is that entrant name in the industry? PNG, right? PNG. Right, remember? So that is one of the reasons that new entrant would have come in the norm form of PNG, and that is why Colgate would have increased its ad expense. Yes or no? And it is, we are correlating it with the earlier the same thing had happened when HUL had launched Pepsodent. That time also Colgate has increased its ad expense. That means advertisement expense. Look at it, right? From 1993, when it was somewhere around 4%, it had just went up all the way to 20%. Yeah. So ad plays a very important role in this industry. Ultimately, to make a point, ad spends a very important role in this industry. Yes or no?
Yes. So they spent a lot in financial year 7-8, and because of which in the next 2 years we saw some growth in the sales. And eventually, when they saw that they need to spend more to capture more, they started increasing their advertising costs.
Yeah. So FY10 was a significant year when profitability and everything went up very significantly, right? And one of the reason is you
Yes.
see FY10 ad spends to sales went down from 17.4% to all the way to 15.3%, right?
Yes.
And then from there onwards, it is again increasing. And one of the biggest reason is new entrant coming. And second is we know that those who are going to do the advertisement in this industry regarding educating people to do twice brush or thrice brush a day, they are going to get the market share. Yes or no? And second,
Yes,
that is second reason. And third reason, this industry, this company is expanding heavily in rural areas. Obviously, they will have to spend more on advertising, focused on rural areas, right?
right.
Okay, good. Little bit more in this side. Okay. These are quarterly update. I told you quarterly updates are generally one page, right? Guys, I want you to take one more slide. This is all actually just one more slide. Types of reports we have done, right? Let's go through this slide. Whenever you pick any industry to analyze, what are the top 5 questions you need to answer? Just go through this slide and make a thinking of it. Think about it. What are these questions about? And how that is going to help you when you are analyzing an industry. And relate it with what happened in case of Colgate.
Do we have to relate it to the Colgate case we're doing right now, or is it just?
Yes, you can relate it to the Colgate case also, and think about what are the key things which to see in an industry when you're analyzing the one.
So historical growth is what we saw at around 12-13%. Then key drivers of the growth. Key drivers in this case would be rural penetration and product segmentation. I mean, the particular toothpaste product.
Advertisement.
How will the growth plan out in the future? So, future. If we talk about the future, will it be more about creating? जैसे आपने discuss किया था कि awareness, brush 2 times a day, this and that, so that consumption, people feel like they need to consume, really need.
Or to focus on a specific group, that is for that gum, toothpaste, and all.
Particularly for yeah.
Even nowadays, the companies are developing that electric toothbrush or kind of thing.
Right.
That will be their future growth. Plan for the future growth.
Whenever we look at industry, we need to understand how big the industry size is, right? That will tell us what is the opportunity size total, yes or no?
Yes.
And we realized that for Colgate, the industry size was 75 billion rupees, right? Yes or no?
Yes, Sumit.
Market cap.
Market cap Colgate नहीं था, वो industry size था पूरा का पूरा
75 billion.
75 billion, right?
Yeah.
Then what should we ask? What else should we know? What is the historical growth? That we can get to know how?
12-13%.
How can we get to know that? You are analyzing any industry. How can you get to know what is the historical growth?
From how many years industries, like for example, the Britannia is there. From how many years Britannia is manufacturing biscuits? Is it like that?
We can see the previous year profits.
Is industrial growth based out of the market
capitalization? What are we talking about? First of all, market capitalization companies का होता है. Industry का कभी market capitalization होता है?
नहीं. What I'm saying is कि उसमें industry में जो companies हैं उनकी market cap के basis पे होता है, or is it?
बिल्कुल. So you can add the total sales of all the companies in an industry, right? Of last 10 years, and see how that has grown. Because in an industry is nothing but sum total of all the companies. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. So you can pick all the companies and take their revenue numbers and add them in 2010 and do the same for 2020. You can tell that in 10 years how it has grown. Yes or no? Was it so difficult to come at to arrive at? Tell me.
No.
How to do and how to identify the key drivers for the growth? You already told me what are the key drivers for Colgate, but tell me how to arrive at it, how to identify them.
Key drivers, potential किस particular area, मतलब किस particular segment में है, or which particular product has more potential in coming years? Is it like that?
Which one of their product is performing very well when compared to its competitor? And what is the scope for further expansion?
Consumer ka taste, how it will change over next few years.
Yeah. Yes, a lot of reading, right? Again, a lot of reading that how the customers are choosing the products and the services, what are the new products and services which are coming up, what is driving the growth can be, it is the awareness of the product is driving the growth, or what it is, right? or which areas or which segments the growth is going to be higher as compared to other sectors. Like we identified that rural is the center of the growth as compared to urban, right?
We can say that technology.
Yes, how technology is going to play. We can say technology means what? Technology is not a growth driver for all the industry. So you need to understand
Okay.
that if technology is the growth driver, then you say technology is the growth driver. That you have to identify. That is technology bringing any disruption over there and resulting any growth avenues.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
All right. So these are some tips, guys. Just read these tips. So guys, this is what some tips are there. Top down, you must be understanding, right? Industry to company, mind map, create an understanding in your, and then you need to write a summary page. So we always learned it in our college also, right? That should write a whatever report we are writing, we should write a summary page on it. And the flow looks good when you are talking first about industry and then the company, and then you talk about valuations and also cover the risk. So this is what a structuring is all about. Okay, guys, any questions so far?
What is mind map?
Okay, so mind map, I thought you must be knowing already, right? So creating a map in your mind. So before you go to any location, go to create a map of that location. Still looking at the Google map.
No, I mean in terms of research.
Yeah, in terms of research also, the mind mapping is the same thing, right? So you create a mindset that how you are going to take the flow, industry, company, and
Okay.
this was all mind mapping all about, right? This was the mind map cannot be explained, but just think about it. It was the mind mapping at all, in totality. You talked about the industry factors, and you said because Colgate is present in toothpaste, not in tooth powder, it will grow better than industry. We said that or no?
Right.
How did you do the mind mapping? You connect the dots between two data points, right?
Right.
Right? That is all the mind mapping is. Your report should look like not a place of facts. ऐसा नहीं है कि online facts copy की और paste कर दिया report में. There should be a proper connection between them, right? Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
It should not be just a set of facts you have downloaded from online and you pasted it over here. It's not that, right? There should be proper connection, a thin line of connection, or it should be connection. Okay. Right. So this was all I had, guys, to cover in this topic. I don't think there would be any point in starting a new topic now. And if you guys have any doubt, otherwise you can close out the session. Actually, we started the session in the last session itself. Kind of cover it. If you have any questions, I would happy to take a forward. Otherwise, we can close it. Is any question? Tell me.
Sumit, I have a question. The sample which you told us to submit So we have to prepare a pitch report by what will be the submission date and all.
That
Can
all
you just
should have been
specify?
told to you guys in the group, right? 30th April कुछ था फिजा, आप नहीं थे क्या last session में?
नहीं, Sumit, I was not there.
30th April आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही. I'm not able to hear you properly, Fiza. But I understand you're asking something about the deadline of pitch, right?
Yes, Sumit, can you hear me now? Can you hear
No,
me now?
Yeah, it's better now. Is it 30th April is the deadline?
Okay.
Sumit, actually,
Have to
in
prepare.
last class. So can you just walk through what all we need to do?
Where you need to do what? Hello?
Regarding this assignment, just something.
Okay.
Sumit, can I tell them?
Yeah. It would be really, I would be pleased because Mr. Bakar, you understand when more, again people ask this question, I feel very disappointed. Yeah, please, thank you. Thank you for helping me.
Okay, guys, last week, the Sumit has told us the deadline is 30th of April. And the pitch report, which has been shared by Sumit, we have to go through 16 to 30th page, I guess. So we have to prepare a 18 to 20 slides of any industry. If you pick, we have to prepare a PPT for that.
Thank you, Mr. Bakar, to start it. Yeah, so guys, this is what all about pitch is, right? And if you go through that session, Sushant, you would understand what are the key aspects of a pitch. But to brief you, because your performance has been above the mark in the entire session, so I'm really impressed. So otherwise, I would have said no, because last time Daimani has asked me to repeat it and I didn't repeat because I feel disappointed when someone don't listen to me, but I understand you weren't there. So let me give you the detailed understanding of it again. So pitch is prepared, Sushant, when a company is put on sale. And this is prepared by sell-side advisor. I guess today you said that in investment banking, buy-side advisor represent buyer and sell-side advisor represent seller, right? You said that, right? हाँ?
Yeah, that
है ना,
was.
आपने बोला था ना, आपका आवाज कट मतलब बहुत कम आ रहा है, तो आप अपना वॉल्यूम बढ़ा दीजिए सुशांत, तो बात करने में मजा आएगा.
Okay, अब ठीक है सुमित?
हाँ, आप ठीक है. तो याद है आपने सब बोला था, which I said, which is so that was a true definition in case of investment banking, sell side and buy side, right? So you have to represent us, you have to assume yourself as a sell side advisor for this project. आपको एक sell side advisor बनना है. तो sell side advisor का काम क्या रहता है? What is the work of a sell side advisor? A company which wants to sell itself, maybe a part of itself, or basically the promoters want to sell the company. Promoters want to sell the company maybe in part or maybe full, but a large chunk of maybe 70%, 60% or 100% of their holding. When they want to sell, they go to sell side investment banker. Okay. Now, sell side investment banker needs to generate interest among the prospective buyers for that company, so that their client, that is the promoters of the company, can get best value possible, right?
Right.
So in order to curate or generate interest, they need to present this opportunity to the prospective buyers, whosoever they think the prospective buyers are. They can create a list of it, that if for example Zomato wants to sell itself, the prospective buyers can be who and who. So one is, for example, Swiggy. Another one is, for example, Amazon. Another one is, for example, Flipkart. So this is how you can create a list based on your own understanding, right? And for example, you create a list of not too short, not too long, but you have a list of 15 different possibilities, right? Then to those people, you send a presentation, a pitch, presenting about that opportunity, right? So if you are doing that, then you have to go in the same manner the way we went in this initiating coverage report. What was that manner? Then you have to tell first about how attractive that industry is. Before coming to the company, you should tell about the industry.
Right.
And generate interest among the participants or the listeners or the people who are going through that PPT about that about that industry, how attractive that industry is, right? What is this industry is all about? Are this industries can be segmented into different small pieces. For example, oral care industry can be segmented between three: toothbrush, toothpaste, and tooth powder, right? Similarly, any industry you are picking, which segments are growing fast, which segments are growing less. This is how you cover the industry, covering 2, 3, 4 slides on industry. Okay. And then you talk about the competitiveness of the industry. That means how many competitors or players are there in that industry, and a competitive analysis of each of the players as compared to the company which you are putting on sale. Okay, that how other competitors of you identify few things. For example, market cap, second, products, third, market reach, geographical presence. Like this, you identify 4, 5 factors, 6 factors. Based on it, you compare all the 6 or 5 competitors you think which are there. Okay, for that company. That on the factor of market presence, which company has the you know deepest penetration. Right. So like that, you rank them. And obviously, you try to rank you identify the factors where your company, which you have to sell, is the best in most of the sectors, right? You, as a sell-side advisor, that's the smartness you need to put in, right? So that the reader can see that, yes, this opportunity is good. Otherwise, how would your company look good? Competitors, if you'll identify the factors which are good for other players, right?
Right.
Right. So that's all about the competitiveness. Skill competitiveness, you covered industry and competitive or competitors. Then you move towards company. You talk about the company, the basic of the company, the key financials of the company, what are the key customers, if there is any customer concentration, you cover that, right? What are the key clients it serves? What are the various factories it has? If it is a manufacturing company, then how many places it has factories? What are the geographical what is the geographical presence of the company? How much revenue comes from export, import, or all these things, right, about the company.
Right.
Then you cover the investment rationale for the company. If anyone has to invest into that company, what are those 4, 5, 6 factors which makes it the compelling investment opportunity for anyone? Right? Investment rationale. And then you cover, if you want at all, if you at all want to cover, then you can cover the risk factors. What are the risks? But if at all you cover the risk, Tushant, immediately cover the mitigation. That this is the risk and how the company is mitigating it. What action the company has taken mitigating it. Because as a sell-side advisor, you should not put any thought of negativeness or negativity in the presentation, right?
Right.
Let the buyer think on that line, right? And that is what buy-side advisors are for, right? So that they can analyze from a critical perspective. At the time of presenting, you should try to cover up only those risks which you think are readily mitigated by the company, right?
Yeah.
Then you cover valuation. In valuation, you cover DCF and you cover relative valuation. Right? And then you say, based on relative valuation and DCF, the range of the company's value should be around 2,000 to 3,000 crore.
Right.
And that is all. If anybody is interested, want to buy 100%, pay to somewhere between 2,000 to 3,000 crore and all. Now, this is what the description is. This is what you have to prepare, Sushant. And there's nothing like this you have to prepare in 18, 20 slides. You can, if you want, you can do it in 10, 12 slides. It's fine. It should be impactful. Content should be good. Volume is okay. Whatever volume. It should not be just copy pasting on there. And many times what people do is they go to the website of the company and they put everything and anything, vision of the company, mission of the company, 5 years down, this 10, ये कुछ भी डाल देंगे website पे वो copy कर देंगे और they will paste it in the slide and say this is what I have presented. Don't do that. Do an analytical perspective. Do all these things, right? And you go through that pitch which I have shared, and it is there on the LMS portal also. Okay. Go from slide number 16 to 42.
16 to
42.
42.
All these things which I have said is covered over there. In the sense, there is one company for which that pitch has been prepared. See how is that prepared.
Right.
So that can be a good guiding point for you. Now, what company should you pick? I highly recommend you should pick a publicly listed company.
Yeah.
But at all, if you have some data on some private companies and you're comfortable, do it. I don't mind. Why I'm recommending you to pick a publicly listed companies? Because you would have enough data at least to do analysis on, right?
Right.
Right. So, and now how you should do it? Should you do it as a standalone or should you do it in group? That is your choice.
Right.
If at all you are making a group, do not make a group of 16 people. That all the 16 people who are present in the batch or all the 40 people who are present in the batch make one group and make one presentation and send it to me. Please don't do that. Right? If at all you are making a group, make a group of reasonable size, 3 people, 4 people at max. Right? And if you want to do it alone, it's all your choice. The deadline to complete this is 30th April 2022.
Right.
Is it fine?
Yes, Sumit. Yes.
Any question on this?
No, no, I'll do it.
Okay. All right. So, Fiza, is your question also answered?
Yes, Sumit, answered. Yes, got it.
Now, guys, comes another project, which is equity research project. This is not mandatory. This is for your own experience. If you want to do and share it with me and want to get my feedback, we can connect one-on-one also. I'm talking about not on the M&A project. I'm talking on the project of initiating coverage. If at all you are interested, you guys create an initiating coverage report of any publicly listed company. This would fall under the equity research project. If you want to do, you guys can do it, and I would be ready to review it. And also connect on the phone for one-on-one discussion. This is not mandatory project, but you can do it. And if you do it alone. Do not do it in group. Do the entire, pick any company, publicly listed company, analyze it, and write an initiating coverage report on it, which is almost like a pitch document only, but it should be in a report Word file, 1, and 2, it should be in line of what you have read about Petronet LNG, in case of Petronet LNG, right? I already shared one initiating coverage report with you guys. If you guys want to do it, you can do it. I would be more than happy to review it. It will not be graded, but it is for your own learning. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Any more questions, guys? Tell me.
Sumit, for the equity research project which you just spoke about, we can connect with you even after the batch is over, right?
Yeah. So for connecting Sakshi, you can connect me till the time I'm alive through email.
Yes.
And if I found it reasonable, then I would definitely connect with you on call also. My responses can be a little delayed. For example, Priyanka has been trying to connect with me, and finally the date we have decided is 13th April, because on that day I have some window to talk.
Yes.
Time will be of my choice, but I would be happy to connect even after this session. For many years I'm alive. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Is it okay to message you on LinkedIn in case?
हाँ बिल्कुल सुशांत यार, आप करो, मैं आपको अपना नंबर भी शेयर करता हूँ यार, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। आप मेरे को मैसेज कर दो, मैं कर देता हूँ नंबर शेयर।
ठीक है। थैंक यू सो मच।
बहुत सिंपल है यार, मेरे को रीच आउट करना बहुत आसान है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। बट कुछ रीजनेबल करता है कोई तो मुझे मजा आता है फिर उससे कनेक्शन रखने में, राइट? इट्स एज सिंपल एज दैट। Okay. All right, guys. Then, if there is no more question, we can close off the session. Okay. Because there's no point starting a new topic at all. Then you guys do not get the फिर उसमें मजा नहीं आता। अभी थोड़ा 5 मिनट पढ़ेंगे, फिर कल और पढ़ेंगे. So there's no point. Still, if you have any question, tell me. We have 15 more minutes for the session to official. anything, investment. You guys are reading alpha ideas or not? Want to ask something, anything about life, career, anything? Yeah, window 15 minutes.
Sumit, career related था. I mean, earlier हमारी discussion रही, that was also some, but I just wanted to have some insights.
हाँ बोलो ना.
Because क्योंकि shifting from non equity analysis and this and that company analysis, because I don't come from that background. I come from a financial reporting background.
मैं बताया, मैं भी नहीं था उस background से. ठीक है, आगे बताओ.
Transitioning, I mean, I'm not sure. Although some people say that
painful है. ट्रांजिशन पेनफुल है सुशांत, लेकिन ये सब मैटर करता है कब, जब आप पैशन है, वो तो सब कुछ दाव पे लगाने का मतलब है. अदरवाइज कुछ सब कुछ दाव पे लगाने का कोई मतलब नहीं है सुशांत.
Right.
If you are readily getting increments, regularly increments in the current job, तो फिर do equity research for your own portfolio, right? फिर सबको दाव पे मत लगा के अपनी जॉब छोड़ के. जैसे समझो सुशांत, I was working at a 20 lakh का पैकेज in 2016. ठीक है, 20 लाख का पैकेज था मेरा, 18 का था एग्जैक्टली. ठीक है, 18 का था. एंड आई स्टार्टेड एट 5.5 लाख रुपीस इन 2018, 2 साल के बाद. Seeing my 20 lakhs का पैकेज, वो बोनस मिला के बोल रहा हूँ मैं आपको. Seeing my 20 lakhs पैकेज, mine is an arranged marriage. So my father-in-law, when first he met, it's my brother. There's nothing to hide in it, right? They ask in arranged marriage, they ask what's your package and all, right?
Right.
They asked me. So that was one of the major deciding factors. Again, my family well-beingness, my parents, everything is in arranged marriage. When you go, you look at everything, right? Right. If it is a love marriage, then everything happens instantaneously. Then nothing else matters. But if it is an arranged marriage, obviously you look at everything, right?
Yeah.
So I have no shame in saying that I did arrange marriage, right? So that's what it is. So everything was talked. So this was again a very important factor, right? And 3 months after my engagement, I left my job because my future wife, and that time my fiance, told me to do it for achieving. So she supported me. So I had a very strong support, Sushant. She was the one who motivated me, who gifted me an iPad and motivated me to pursue what I always wanted to do, that is reading, right? So इतना फोकस, सपोर्ट, फैमिली, सबका सपोर्ट लगता है सुशांत. ये आपका एक इंडिविजुअल डिसीजन नहीं होता है. जब इफ यू आर मैरिड, आपने बोला कि योर किड इज देयर, राइट? आई एम श्योर यू आर मैरिड एंड यू हैव किड, राइट? तो इतना आसान नहीं होता सुशांत. इसमें बहुत ज्यादा सपोर्ट बेस चाहिए होता है. मैं बता रहा हूँ आपको, पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस से बता रहा हूँ. 20 लाख से सीधा 5.5 लाख पे आना बहुत ही टफ होता है, वो भी 1.5 साल के वेट के बाद में. टिल दैट टाइम आई हैड 0 सेविंग्स लेफ्ट इन माय पॉकेट. तो टफ है, बट पैशनेट होना बहुत जरूरी है. मैं था पैशनेट, तो रहा खड़ा, राइट? सपोर्ट सिस्टम भी था. पेरेंट्स वर लिटिल, शुरुआत में थोड़ा सा पेरेंट्स को कंफर्टेबल नहीं हो रहे थे वो, because they thought कि यार what if I failed, and which is okay, yeah, which is fine. Our parents are always worried about our success, but धीरे धीरे my wife also, brought them also in this, right? She convinced on my behalf to my parents and to my in-laws. She fought for everything. तो ऐसा है यार, मतलब ऑनेस्टली अब ये सब बातें है कि मैजिक तो नहीं होने वाला है. देखो, कोई भी कोर्स कर लो, आप IIM अहमदाबाद भी चले जाओ, आप IIM अहमदाबाद का कोई फाइनेंशियल एनालिसिस का कोर्स कर लो, कोई मैजिक नहीं होने वाला है सुशांत. ऑनेस्टली नहीं होने वाला है. मैं आपको सही बता रहा हूँ. मतलब कैसे होगा? आपके IIM अहमदाबाद के 6 महीने के कोर्स के बेसिस पे तो ना डिसाइड करेगी कोई कंपनी की बॉस इसको इक्विटी रिसर्च का नॉलेज है कि नहीं है. वो तो ये डिसाइड करेगी नहीं, ये बंदा पिछले 6 महीने में, साल भर में, 2 साल, 5 साल में कुछ किया है इसने इक्विटी रिसर्च वाला. अगर किया है तो फिर वो सपोर्ट करेगी. तो ये आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. कोई भी बंदा जो मेरे को 2021 के अंदर रिव्यू कर रहा था, उसको सुमित राठी नहीं दिख रहा था, उसको सुमित राठी का पोर्टफोलियो दिख रहा था, which I have irrigated since 2018. सींचा है उस पोर्टफोलियो को मैंने. With God's grace, all the luck bestowed by Lord Sai, I am a Lord Sai's disciple. तो जो उनकी दया है, उनकी दृष्टि, उनकी कृपा है, उसकी वजह से वो पोर्टफोलियो बढ़ा और 2021 में स्टोरी बन गई. That and I started selling my story. that I am someone who invested before COVID. क्योंकि COVID में तो हर किसी का portfolio ऊपर जा रहा था. I am someone who invested in higher prices in COVID. Still, I have stocks which are 12x or 6x, 7x in 3 years, 4 years, right? So I had a history, though I was not professionally doing or managing money for clients or something, but I was at least doing for myself. भले ही छोटा पैसा था, right? But the return was important, right? So अब इस केस में यही करना पड़ता है. 2018 में आना यही पर था, बस इसी जगह पे आना था, लेकिन नहीं मिल रहा था. 16 में ढूंढा, हाफ 16 निकल गया, 17 पूरा निकल गया. अब करूँ क्या? तो कहीं से तो स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा. Because of me, my wife's career was also on side track. She was chartered accountant, and but we were not able to finalize the location. And I was more experienced. पहले मेरे पास 3 साल का experience था. सबको यही था कि पहले you get a job, then it's the same location. Your wife also gets, मतलब my wife also gets the job. So even being a chartered accountant and company secretary, she was not able to start her career. तो था, तो फिर हमने स्टार्ट किया. कहीं से एक चीज समझ में आ गया, कहीं से तो स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा. जो चाहिए वो पाना है, लेकिन कहीं से तो स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा. बिकॉज आई रियलाइज्ड इट देन that if you help if you help yourself, then only God will help you. As simple as. मैंने कहा कहीं से स्टार्ट करता हूँ बॉस. तो स्टार्ट तो इतना इजी नहीं है, बट एज कंपेयर टू दिस सुशांत, आज मैं देखता हूँ कुछ लोग होते हैं जिनका बहुत आसानी से मिल जाती है प्रोफेशन. इतना भी फाइट नहीं है. तो कुछ लक भी है सुशांत, और कुछ आपको पैशन है, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं आपको मेंटली प्रिपेयर रहना पड़ेगा. Being conservative, you have to prepare yourself for the worst. And in that journey, if something sooner happens, that's your luck. Right?
Right.
तो घुमा घुमा के वही क्वेश्चन आ रहा है, और मैं घुमा घुमा के आपको वही जवाब दे रहा हूँ. बट ये पॉसिबल है, ये जरूर है, लेकिन आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है हाउ पैशनेट यू आर. एंड डू नॉट लीव योर जॉब. 2 साल पहले नहीं, 1.5 साल पहले एक बंदा था. He said, sir, based on this course, I left my job and I'm fully focusing on this course. And मैंने कहा, boss, no course is going to help you. Why do not leave the job in today's world? This course is going to help you to where to start, where to look, and if you get an interview chance, then how to crack that interview. If somebody asks you DCF, you should know DCF. सिर्फ ये बोलने से नहीं चलेगा ना कि मुझे फाइनेंस में जाना है, मुझे फाइनेंस में जाना है, मुझे फाइनेंस में जाना है. आपसे किसी ने क्वेश्चन पूछा व्हाट इज डीसीएफ, एंड इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू आंसर इट, तो फिर देयर इज नो पॉइंट ना. सो दिस कोर्स इज गोइंग टू हेल्प यू अप टू दैट मच. बट जो एफर्ट्स मारने हैं इंटरव्यू के लिए, लोगों को कन्विंस करने के लिए, इंटरव्यू अपॉर्चुनिटीज के लिए, वो आपके एफर्ट्स है. और वो इसके साथ चलना चाहिए. हाँ सर,
क्योंकि मोस्ट ऑफ अस आर टॉट कि यार तुम 2 काम एक साथ नहीं कर सकते. इफ यू सपोज आई मीन टू,
मैं आपको बताता हूँ मैं कितना काम कर रहा हूँ. देखो, ये जॉब कर रहा हूँ मैं, ठीक है. कौन सी? जो मेरी जॉब है परमानेंट
जी,
ठीक है. मैं ये टीचिंग कर रहा हूँ, ये दूसरा काम है. तीसरा, मैं अपना पोर्टफोलियो आपको दिखा देता हूँ. मैं अपना पोर्टफोलियो मैनेज कर रहा हूँ सेल्फ इंडिविजुअली. वो मेरा तीसरा काम है. जस्ट शो यू.
हमें ये भी बताया जाता है कि यार इफ यू खासकर लिंक्डइन पे, if you share that you're doing something extra also, although you made it very clear today जब आपने हमें कुछ प्रोफाइल्स दिखाई थी, बट ये एक रीजन रहता है कि एक मेंटल बाउंड्री रह जाती है.
बाउंड्री आपके माइंड की है यार. बाउंड्री इस वर्ल्ड में है ही नहीं यार. इट्स अ बाउंड्रीलेस वर्ल्ड. वी क्रिएटेड बाउंड्रीज. मेरा शिफ्ट की काम नहीं कर रहा है. It's all the matter of time management and how passionate you are. ये आपको कितना का पोर्टफोलियो है? Can you read it?
Yeah.
56 लाख रुपीस का पोर्टफोलियो, ठीक है. इसमें मेरा प्रॉफिट आज के रेट पे कितना है? 17 लाख. बट ये इन्वेस्टेड अमाउंट कितना है? 38 लाख रुपीस. इसमें ये 38 में से भी 18 लाख रुपीस इज प्रॉफिट ओनली, जो कि मैंने रियलाइज करके वापस री इन्वेस्टमेंट की है. So my investment in this entire portfolio is 20 lakhs only, and this is in my account. My wife's account I will not open over here, but in my wife's account also I'm managing. We are managing money. Yeah, this is my money. तो ये मैं आपको दिखा देता हूँ, इसका प्रूफ भी दे देता हूँ आपको. ये टाटा एलेक्सी के कितने शेयर्स है मेरे पास में? 100. What average cost? 660, right? I had 200 shares. अभी रिसेंटली ही मैंने 5 दिन पहले इसको 9400 के प्राइस में बेचा है, टू रिड्यूस टू मैनेज माय पोर्टफोलियो वेल. क्योंकि देखो मेरा पोर्टफोलियो का 30% हो गया था 200 स्टॉक्स. तो पूरे पोर्टफोलियो का एक स्टॉक 30% होना बहुत ज्यादा रिस्की हो जाता है. राइट. तो आई सोल्ड इट. तो उसमें ही मैं बता देता हूँ आपको कितना. मैं आपको पहले दिखा देता हूँ कि प्राइस 900 400. मैं लकी रहा उसके लिए. आई मस्ट टेल यू, ये मेरा कोई नहीं है, बिकॉज वो कुछ ही क्षणों के लिए उस 9400 उस दिन टच किया था. मैंने फीडिंग डाली थी 9500 की, लेकिन ये देखिए 52 वीक हाई कितना है?
9420.
हाँ, ये इसी दिन गया था. ये अभी 28 मार्च को, लास्ट मंडे. फिर क्लोज हुआ 9035 पे, क्योंकि ये क्लोजिंग प्राइस पे चार्ट बनता है. और उस दिन ये 9420 टच करके आया था. मैंने 9500 की फीडिंग डाली थी और मैं कॉन्स्टेंटली ट्रैक कर रहा था. मेरा लक था उस एक सेकंड के लिए, वो मेरा लक चला. It was 9400 के ऊपर गया. मैंने कहा 9500 में इतना लालच नहीं करते हैं, 9400 कर देते हैं, बिक जाएगा फटाफट से. और मैंने डाला 9400 और बिक गया. सो 9400 में बिक गए. अब 660 का परचेज प्राइस है. नाउ डू द कैलकुलेशन. 9400 minus 660. This is the profit on 100 shares, right? तो 8,74,000 का जो प्रॉफिट है वो तो अभी का ही प्रॉफिट है, रिसेंट 10 डेज पहले. 10 डेज भी नहीं हुआ है पूरे अभी तक. तो द पॉइंट आई एम ट्राइंग टू मेक कि ये जो आपको इन्वेस्टेड कैपिटल दिख रहा है ना, ये 38 लाख, उसमें से मेरा 20 लाख ही इन्वेस्टेड कैपिटल. बाकी सब प्रॉफिट ही है 18 का. 8 तो अभी का प्रॉफिट. आई री इन्वेस्टेड इमीडिएटली. आई हैड प्रॉफिट डेज, आई री इन्वेस्टेड. So this is my third work which I manage. ये total I have a portfolio of around 1 with God's grace. मतलब ऊपर वाले की कृपा है सारा. मतलब my chance over there is very मतलब मेरा कोई वो नहीं है, but हाँ, it's all luck. 1% my and 99% my size help to me. ठीक है. But you 1% you help to help yourself. Then 99% Lord Sai comes and help you, and whosoever is your Lord Sai, मतलब my is Lord Sai, आपका जो भी है जी, वो आता है. वो 99% एफर्ट्स डालता है, लेकिन पहला 1% तो आपको डालना ही पड़ेगा. तो ये एक मिथ है कि यू कांट डू 2 थिंग्स और वन थिंग. मैं तो 3 चीजें हैं, उसके अलावा भी मैं आपको बता देता हूँ. आई हैव अ फैमिली, राइट? वी आर प्रेग्नेंट राइट नाउ. वी डू मैनेज दैट आल्सो. वैसे ही जो सोनोग्राफी होता है उसको अल्ट्रासाउंड बोलते हैं, राइट? तो मेरी वाइफ अकेली नहीं जाती बॉस, मैं भी जाता हूँ साथ में. तो वो सारी चीजें भी मेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, वो मैं करता ही हूँ.
That's very important. That's very important part.
तो उसकी इंपॉर्टेंस तो भगवान की कृपा से छोड़ा नहीं है अभी तक. ऐसा नहीं है कि फुली फोकस इसी पे हो गया, बाकी सब तुम मैनेज करो, ऐसा नहीं है जी. तो वो भी चल रहा है, और ये सब मैनेज उसी की वजह से हो रहा है जो कि अपन को ताकत देता है. वो ताकत लॉर्ड साई देता है आपको, जो भी देता है. उस ताकत को बस 1% अपना एफर्ट डालो कि बॉस अपना टाइम स्केड्यूल सही कर दो. सुबह 4 बजे उठना है तो उठना है, 3 घंटे मुझे पढ़ना है तो पढ़ना है, अपन को रीडिंग में फोकस करना है तो करना है. उसके बाद अपना सारा, तो वो 3 घंटे आप अभी, जैसे मैं रीडिंग पे फोकस करता हूँ, आप किसी और चीज पे करो जो आपको करना है, करिए. There's nothing like this, and कुछ ऐसा नहीं है जो आपको रोक सकता है. उसके अलावा टुडे आई रन 8 किलोमीटर आज भागा हूँ मैं. तो हेल्थ को भी छोड़ा नहीं है. हेल्थ इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द प्रायोरिटी लिस्ट, बकेट लिस्ट में. आई रिड्यूस माई kgs फ्रॉम 95 to 65 नाउ. 2016-17 में I had gone to 9, my weight has gone to 95, sorry 90, 95, 90. Was a 65 पे, all with God's grace, but first 1% we have to put it. Right. Right.
Sir.
ये मिथ है यार कि क्या अब वो दामिनी बोल रहे थे और आप लोगों के सब में भी रहता है, लेकिन मैं उस चीज पे ज्यादा बोलना नहीं चाहता। मुझे नहीं पता किस कंपनी में क्या कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है। अगर मैंने कुछ बोल दिया फॉर एग्जांपल और एक्चुअल में उनकी कंपनी बहुत स्ट्रिक्ट हुई, कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो गया, तो दे वुड थिंक इफ सुमित हैज गिवन रॉन्ग एडवाइस। सो उस बारे में मैं नहीं बोलना चाहता कि वो कंपनी का क्या पॉलिसी है, आपने क्या कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन किया वो आप जानते हो, मुझे नहीं पता है ना आपने क्या कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन किया। अपना ये है कि जो करना है वो ऑनेस्टली बोल देना है। ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, अभी मैंने जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन चेंज की है, मेरे 2 राउंड्स ऑफ इंटरव्यू होते हैं। पहला मेरे फंड मैनेजर लिया था, सेकंड इंटरव्यू मेरे सीआईओ ने लिया था, और दोनों के इंटरव्यू में जब उन्होंने मुझे पूछा कि टेल मी अबाउट योरसेल्फ, उनको मैंने क्लियरली बोला था कि सैटरडे संडे मैं क्लासेस लेता हूँ। कुछ छुपाया नहीं था कि कि मैं यहाँ कंपनी में काम कर रहा हूँ, वहां पर बोल के बंद हो गया। और जैसे ही मैंने कंपनी ज्वाइन की, एचआर तो पहले ही पूछ लिया था, तो एचआर ने बोला आप जब भी ज्वाइन करो डिस्क्लेमर दे देना, टीचिंग इज समथिंग व्हिच वी आर नॉट, व्हिच डोंट हैव एनी प्रॉब्लम विद। एनी ट्रांजेक्शन आई डू इन माई पर्सनल अकाउंट, ये मेरा अकाउंट है एक्सिस बैंक का, इसमें एक भी ट्रांजेक्शन मैं करता हूँ ना, उसके सीधा, दो इट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड, स्टिल आई राइट एन ईमेल टू माय कंप्लायंस डिपार्टमेंट दैट टुडे आई हैव बॉट दीस शेयर्स एंड सोल्ड दीस शेयर। ऑनेस्टली सब कुछ डिस्क्लोज करो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। व्हाट इज देयर टू हाइड अबाउट? हाँ, दिमाग की बाउंड्रीज जो है उसका तो कोई इलाज ही नहीं है इस दुनिया में। देयर इज नो सोल्यूशन फॉर मेंटल बाउंड्रीज, राइट? So I guess it's enough for today.
Got Sumit. Very clear.
Yeah. Okay. So let's close now, guys. I'll have to do packing also. I have to catch a train at 8 o'clock. I have to shift to Mumbai now. My office is calling me, and we are starting work from office now. So yeah, so I'll do packing and all. So let's close. Yeah.
Rohit here.
Yes, Rohit.
Can you please share the source of reading the question and answer regarding the interview preparation?
आपको अभी हाथों हाथ ही कर देता हूँ कुछ रेडी क्वेश्चंस आपको। मैं वैसे बाद में देता हूँ जनरली, बट आपको अभी चाहिए तो मैं सबको ही दे देता हूँ, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। 1-2 सेशन में मैं देने ही वाला हूँ।
if you can share थोड़ा।
मैं चैट पे कर दूंगा, आप वहां से ले लेना। देखो फिर मेरे को निकलना पड़ेगा, राइट? क्योंकि मुझे अभी पैकिंग थोड़ी बाकी है, एंड आई हैव टू लिव फॉर मुंबई।
मुंबई,
या मुंबई।
sir, in where Mumbai, Dadar or something?
Sorry, my office is in Kulla.
Okay.
Do you live in Mumbai?
Yes, I am from Mumbai, sir.
Rohit?
Yes,
right?
yes.
यार कुल्ला में है बॉस, कुल्ला जाना है। कल बैंड्रा उतरूंगा मैं। कुल्ला कितना टाइम लगेगा पहुंचने में?
सर आधा घंटा लगेगा सर बांद्रा से।
वही सोचा है मैंने, 11 बजे बैंड्रा उतरूंगा, 11:30 तक पहुंच जाऊंगा कुल्ला
हाँ
ना।
बिल्कुल सर, हो जाएगा
बुक किया
नजदीक है
है,
सर बांद्रा को।
पीजी बुक किया है मैंने वहाँ पर, तो वहाँ जाना है मुझे। I have to live alone for now next few months because my wife cannot accompany me.
बीकेसी में रहेगा सर, बांद्रा गुंद्रा कॉम्प्लेक्स में रहेगा।
नहीं, मेरा ऑफिस यहाँ पर कुल्ला में फिनिक्स मॉल के, फिनिक्स मार्केट सिटी के पास में है।
ओके, फिनिक्स मार्केट सिटी।
हाँ।
वो आर्ट गिल्ड कुछ तो है सर उसमें, गैलरी।
क्या है वहाँ पर?
आर्ट गिल्ड कुछ तो ये है सर, उनका बिजनेस हाउस है सर।
इसका
अब वो फिनिक्स का उसमें रहता है सर, वो सब कॉर्पोरेट हाउस ऑफिसेस है उसमें।
ओके, होंगे। हाँ, मैं पहली बार जा रहा हूँ देखो कुल्ला में। मैं पहले मुंबई रहा हुआ हूँ बट कुल्ला कभी नहीं गया हूँ। बीकेसी जरूर गया हुआ हूँ, आईसीआईसीआई के ऑफिस में। मुंबई में कुछ 8 महीने रहा था पहले, आईसीआईसीआई में जॉब करता था। मैंने उसी पे बैट लगाया बिकॉज टुमारो वी हैव सेशन राइट 12। मेरा 11 o'clock ट्रेन उतरेगा। मैं यही सोच रहा हूँ, मैंने ऑनलाइन देखा था तो आधे घंटे में यू कैन रीच फ्रॉम बैंड्रा टू कुल्ला, इसलिए फिर मैंने वो।
सर इफ यू नीड एनी हेल्प यू कैन कांटेक्ट मी, आई कैन इफ यू नीड एनी हेल्प।
रोहित दैट वुड बी सो ग्रेट। या बिल्कुल, मैं आपको कनेक्ट करूंगा। कोई दिक्कत आएगी ना तो आई विल डेफिनेटली। यू लिव इन दादर यू सेड राइट?
नो सर, आई एम इन नियर बाय थाने सर। नो दादर।
थाने में ही पहले देखा था यार, थाने से ट्रैवलिंग बहुत हो जाती है।
हाँ
थाने इज अ गुड लोकेशन टू लिव, वो
Yes,
थोड़ा
yes,
खुला
yes,
खुला भी है, वहाँ पर ग्रीनरी भी है, राइट?
यस।
वहां से ना 1.5 घंटा लग जाता मेरे ऑफिस का, और इवनिंग में कुछ सेशन रहते हैं कभी कभी मेरे। आई डोंट वांट टू मिस दैट सेशंस, बिकॉज फिर वो I'm connected with some institutions, so evening 7 to 9 I take some session sometime. So I don't want to miss that work. Otherwise, Kulla was relatively pocket friendly also, and
Yes,
green
sir. So this
also.
is center, sir, center of Mumbai, sir. You can go any south, western, central with this.
इसलिए वही मन था थाने में रहने का, लेकिन फिर चेंज करना पड़ा मुझे। ठीक है, मैं आपको पक्का कनेक्ट करूंगा रोहित फॉर दिस। अभी के लिए मैं निकलता हूँ। आपको देखो चैट पे मिल गया क्या आपको जो चाहिए था? सारे इंटरव्यू प्रिपरेशन वाले डॉक्यूमेंट भेजे मैंने ऑन चैट। नहीं, किसी को तो मिल गया होगा, मैंने सबको भेजा है। कुछ लोगों को मोबाइल पे नहीं आता है ये। हाँ, मिल गया फिजा?
नो चैट पे आ गया।
एक सेकंड, चैट पे आ गया? किसको आ गया ये बताओ, नहीं आया वो मत बोलो। आ गया वो बताओ प्लीज, किसको आ गया?
मुझे आ गया सुमित।
तो
मैं कर दूंगी। यू कैन लीव।
आप इसको डाउनलोड करके ग्रुप पे डाल दोगे?
हाँ मैं डाल दूंगी। यू कैन लीव।
ठीक है, थैंक यू फिजा, थैंक्स अ लॉट फॉर दिस असिस्टेंस। आप डाउनलोड कर लीजिए, तब तक मैं क्लास ऑन रखता हूँ।
Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys, thanks a lot. Meet you tomorrow.
Thank you, Sumit, and
Thank you.
thank you for your insights.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, Sumit. Happy journey.
Thank you, thanks a lot. All right, so I'm ending now.
Yeah.
Okay.